flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Wow. Carmichael Dave dropping heaters. You love it when Dave does that when the mic is off. Carmichael Dave says, I'm going out with a bang since I beat him in celebrity birthdays. Allen Stiles here with you. The Allen Stiles Show taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass for us. Short week for us doesn't mean it's a short week for everyone that's listening. So thank you to all the first responders, doctors, anybody that has to work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I took New Year's Eve off, by the way. And it looks like the Kings have taken the last, 25 games off. Look, man, it has been rough. It has been tough sledding. And from getting into it with a Laker fan as I told y'all I was going to the game as a fan on Saturday. From getting into it with a Laker fan on Saturday to feeling like you were almost at a funeral yesterday, the funeral of the Beam Team. We will break all of it down. And I'll tell you this much. A lot of times we start out this show and we talk about stats and we talk about the game itself. I feel like today the game doesn't matter, right? I feel like the Pacers game happened, but it doesn't matter. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time today talking about, I actually haven't even looked at the box score. And I'm going to keep it even more real with you. I left after the end of the third quarter because if this team doesn't want to play and this team doesn't want to show up, then why should we? And that's why you have fans leaving. That's why their attendance is not great. And that's why you have fans booing your Sacramento Kings. This is a team, I know there are a lot of Niner fans out there, don't get me wrong, and Raider fans. This is a one-team market for the most part. And that one team is getting booed. You know how, not even bad, right? Because like we always say, the Pistons, they don't get booed because there's no expectations. The Hornets, they don't get booed. You had expectations. Y'all are signing contracts from Mike Brown and last season talking about championships. Stop it. This team is done. This team is cooked. I truly don't know. I was trying to tell Kyle before the break or before we started. I don't know how in the world they can roll out this roster next game. I don't know how they can do it. And it's on Thursday against the Pistons, I believe. I don't see how they can do it. That was a team that quit. They quit on Mike Brown. They quit on each other. That's what I saw yesterday. The Pacers are not even very good. You lost to LeBron. You know how much Kings fans hate Laker fans. And then you lose to the one guy. Not just lose, get smacked. Then you lose to the one guy that would just put salt in the wound. There are two guys that could make this weekend as bad as it was. There are two guys. It's Luka and it's Tyrese Halliburton. They probably would have lost to Luka. And Luka already pointed at Vlade Divac and said he should have drafted me. But Luka didn't play the Mavs, so let's lose to Tyrese Halliburton. Let's get whooped on our home floor. Embarrassing. But as we do start 2025 off very soon, and I'll tell you this much. I know I heard Dave in the morning show say more likely Kings play with the new roster or Joel Embiid plays the game against the Kings. I guarantee you this, as we get into these ticket giveaways that we'll be doing every hour throughout the show, that team, I guess I can't guarantee it. I would be very surprised, and I would put a decent amount of U.S. American dollars on the fact that roster that you will be seeing at these games will be different. And with that being said, start 2025 off with a bang at Golden One Center with the Kings. The Kings will play the Sixers, Grizzlies, and Heat to start off the new year. Join us for a thrilling New Year's Day matchup when the Kings host Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Secure your seats now at kings.com/tickets. I'm be honest, Kyle. Are we doing the giveaway or not?
Yeah.
I'm confused. That was okay.
You want to do it now or later? We got to do it sometime during the hour.
Let's do it now. This is why you got to read your promos before you get the promos. I got it handed to me. I got to go in a crosstalk. 916-339-1140. Let's give away some tickets. We're looking for caller number 4. Caller number 4 to get your pair of tickets as we do Monday Mayhem. The Kings taking on the Sixers. 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. And if you don't win, you're going to have a couple different chances. 4 chances throughout the day. You still will have an opportunity to secure your tickets at kings.com/tickets. All right. As Kyle picks that winner, we continue the conversation. And look, Mike Brown, I know there's been some, even from years past, Mike Brown out of town, and he's just not good enough, and there have been comparisons to Mark Jackson, things like that. I'm stuck because there's a part of me that, for lack of a better term, feels bad for Mike Brown, because if you're continuing to say something and it's worked for a good bit of your career and now it's not working, you're running out of things to do, okay? And you're running out of things to try. So in that capacity, for lack of a better term, I feel bad. The reason I don't feel bad is because I don't know that they're trying anything different. I don't know that for a fact. But after Thursday's loss to the Lakers, when Brendan Nunes asked Mike Brown, hey, what are you going to do? And he keeps saying, we're going to keep drilling, and something's not working, that is the definition of insanity. So I don't really understand how you can just do the same. And that was 2 losses ago. So for Keon Ellis to be getting Keon Ellis chance during the game while you're losing to the Pacers, who are no giant this season so far, I'm finding it harder to say, okay, I understand where he's coming from, because I don't. And yes, there's plenty. We can have plenty of conversations about Monty McNair. I know. But we talk so much about the ingredients, and I love to talk about Hell's Kitchen and compare the roster to what's in your fridge. If your fridge if what you have to make isn't that good, but you're also not using all the ingredients, well, whose fault is that? And I know Keon Ellis is not a perfect player. Nowhere near it. But they're losing without him. So when I can't find minutes and I wanted to see Doug McDermott, I love Doug McDermott. He seems like a great guy. We had him on the show. But if Doug isn't making shots, he's just getting abused on defense. And Trey Lyles, he's out there. Look, he had a couple moments against the Lakers. His shot actually looks decent right now. But these are 2 guys to where I'm pretty sure I'd rather see Jay Crowder. I'd rather see Jay Crowder right now. I really would. He's just there. The only time I saw Jay Crowder last night was in the arena when they did a get to know Jay Crowder. I found out that he really likes football. Would be a quarterback if he wasn't in the NBA. That's the last thing I know, or the last thing I heard about one Jay Crowder. All right. So I understand that this team needs to be better roster-wise, but this team also needs to be better as far as who's playing. And the De'Aaron Fox thing, oh my goodness. That is going to take – I talked to a lot of people this weekend, and I'll tell you this. It's not looking good, okay? It's not looking good. And I will challenge you with an exercise, because this happens a good bit throughout the league and in different leagues. So he has not officially requested a trade. That was on Thursday. Then they go out and lose that game. And the game, I believe De'Aaron had 5 fouls with 6 minutes left in the third. They lose against the Lakers. I was there as a fan. And that was just embarrassing. And then they lose to the guy that they traded away to keep you, De'Aaron. Now, I'm not saying this is all De'Aaron's fault, but De'Aaron's the one who's saying, make the team better. Make the team better. I'll never forget, this reminds me of my senior day. I can't remember who we were playing, but my senior day at Temple University, I gave a talk. Say, guys, it's been a while since we've swept a team. Let's go out and get a sweep for us seniors. You want to know what happened? We got swept. We got swept. The exact opposite of what we were hoping to do. So, hey, let's make the team better. Anyway, some way, somehow, I got to make sure we're competing. I'll tell you what we're going to do, De'Aaron. We're going to compete less. We are going to compete less than we've been competing the last couple times around here. So that's what we're going to do for you, De'Aaron. So like I said, I talked to a lot of people this weekend. It's not looking good. Here is the exercise. Give me the guy. And again, I know he hasn't, quote unquote, requested a trade, which again, that's what makes this exercise a bit interesting, because how many, I guess, a Giannis, right? How many guys, and I know De'Aaron needs more help. Multiple things can be true. But how many guys with De'Aaron's type of resume has put this type of pressure on their team and it's worked out? Off the top of my head, it's been Giannis. But again, I think Giannis's resume, even prior to winning that ring, because the pressure started prior to the ring, I think Giannis's resume is much better than De'Aaron Fox's. So who is a guy similar to De'Aaron Fox who has put pressure on the team like De'Aaron has with Rich Paul, and things are going to get slimy when that's all involved? Has this ever happened? I'm sure it has. But off the top of my head, I'm thinking Giannis. In the Sam Amick, Anthony Slater article, they mentioned AD, but AD straight up said, what was it? The Looney Tunes shirt. That's all, folks. So De'Aaron Fox isn't doing that, and I don't think he has it in him to do that. But is it AD? AD said, I want out, though. De'Aaron's not saying that. But is he just trying to play the nice guy? Is he just letting Sacramento down easy? Let's talk about it. Plenty to get into. Evan Cidery of Forbes, he joins us at 12 p.m. to let us know what he's hearing. We're also going to hear from some of the guys, and a lot of it I'm just reading. You don't need to hear Mike Brown's post-game presser. Again, there's no point. There is literally no point. 916-339-1140. Congrats to our winner. We're doing another one at 11, so you don't want to miss that. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have a full tank of gas first before road tripping through the desert.
Empty? Seriously? Maybe I can walk.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Maybe I can't.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay, where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Dodger Blue, Kendrick Lamar. I think we all have the Blues right now watching the Kings. It kept getting worse, right? It's just continued to get worse. Oh, they lose to the Lakers. Maybe they'll win the next game against the Lakers. No, LeBron, Lil Broad, all of them. Keegan Murray, get on my level. Right? Oh, man, LeBron's on DeRozan. It wasn't much better with Keegan. Keegan was just fouling more. Oh, okay, well, it's the Pacers, and the Pacers were 2 games under 500 going into the game yesterday. Now they're 1 game. They're 14-15. 14-15. Okay, well, this is De'Aaron. There's a little bit of chippiness here because of the Tyrese Halliburton thing. Maybe he'll turn up. Guess nobody made him mad. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Domantas Sabonis, 21 rebounds, 17 points. Domantas Sabonis is the only guy you can count on. I don't know what happened to DeMar DeRozan. I don't know if he's injured. 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. It's been brutal. Frankly, it's been terrible. It has. And he says he doesn't go on social media a lot. That's a good thing because he's getting roasted. I saw one thing say that Celtics Shaq can finally rest. Now, I don't think it's that bad.
I mean, have we already forgotten Lakers Westbrook?
I know. Well, then he came back, though. He came back with the Nuggets. It's been better.
Are we just skipping over his entire Clippers time?
I actually forgot about his Clippers time. So that's how they're doing DeMar DeRozan right now. Malik Monk has been, and Malik had some things to say. Malik has been a little bit frigid, a little cold, but it's not just Malik. It's the whole team. It's the whole team. Kevin Huerter, that flash in the pan. Oh, wow, Kevin off the bench. Gonna be great. Kevin has come back to life. Trey Lyles, 8 points, ho-hum, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Doug McDermott, 18 minutes. Keon just got garbage minutes. There's just guys on the team that just, why are they even on the team if they're not going to play? I don't know. It feels like look, not to get too personal here, but if your parents are having an argument at the dinner table and you're just sitting and you're not really sure which side you want to pick, but it's just a bit awkward. I just want to enjoy my shrimp fried rice. That's what it feels like with Monty McNair and Mike Brown right now. Monty McNair hasn't made a move. Mike Brown kind of throwing subliminals, subtle words. Hey, this is what I have to work with. This is what it is. We're just not hearing from Monty McNair. And in turn, he's just running these dudes. The only reason they didn't have crazy numbers because they got blown out. But he's just saying, my job is to win basketball. I'm Mike Brown. My job is to win basketball games, and I trust these 6-7 dudes to win a basketball game. And we're still not winning, but you're not giving me enough on the bench, so I'm not going to play them. The other side of it is, well, we are giving you enough. Or we feel like we're giving you more than what you're using them for, and you're not getting it done. It feels like I'm at the dinner table with my parents, and there's a disagreement, and I just want to talk about how I got a B in social studies and eat my shrimp fried rice. That's how I feel. So this thing, again, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not spending a lot of time on the numbers because they don't matter. This team is not going to exist in I don't know how long it's going to take, but this isn't the team that the Kings are going to end with. Might be a different coach, might be a different roster, but there's no point. They are a dead man walking. That's what it is. It's a Green Mile. It's just, at what point is this thing going to get moved? So I'm not going to waste my time talking about the game from last night. Couple numbers here or there, but it doesn't matter because this team doesn't exist to me. It doesn't exist. They are not going to. They do exist, but moving forward, this team is nothing. And I don't care if they do play. If any game that moves forward with Monty McNair, Mike Brown, and this specific roster does not count to me. There is no need for me to break it down. There is no need for me to say anything because we know inevitably a change is coming. And when that change comes, then I will evaluate the team again. But I've seen enough. I don't need to evaluate this team any longer. I really don't. There's nothing more to see. We've seen enough. Yeah, you talk about American Idol and America's Got Talent when they stop someone after the first bad note. Nope. Simon Cowell, we've heard all we need to hear. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for waiting for 4 hours in the cold of Wisconsin, but you will not be the next American Idol. America's got talent, but you don't. That's what's going on right now. There's nothing more to evaluate. Nothing. As you take a look at some of the things that happened against the Lakers and LeBron. I mean, LeBron 10 of 10 on 2-point shots in the first half. It's just creatine. It's just muscle milk. You're just not. There was a play where LeBron took 3 Kings. Kyle, at what point it looked like varsity and JV. No, I'm not even joking. It was 3 grown men fouling LeBron and one. So this is what happened, and I'll get to this story. I'm sitting in section 126. As I said, Greg St. Jean, assistant coach on the Lakers. Obviously, everyone knows the great Gary St. Jean. That is Gary St. Jean's son. We went to high school together. So Greg got me and my other buddy tickets. We're sitting in section 126. And my buddy, who is not, and shout out Michael Baldacci, go check out his winery, Baldacci Vineyards in Napa. So it's me, Mike, and our wives, right? So I'm sitting on the outside. Mike is sitting to my left, then his wife, and my wife is on the very other side. And Mike is wearing a Lakers hoodie because of Greg. Mike isn't a Lakers fan, but he's supporting his boy. We all went to high school together. Mike and Greg, they went to school even prior to that, very long time. So I'm on the outside, and the people next to us, first of all, the dude next to me is on FaceTime for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, he's on FaceTime. Oh, dude, look at it. It's LeBron. It's the King. So he's already pissing me off, okay? The guy next to him, and they're not even wearing Lakers stuff. They're just being obnoxious. The guy next to him, every time they score, he's looking around, and we let it go. We were about to say something about the FaceTime. We didn't. The game finally ends. And this guy, again, so not the guy next to me, the guy next to him. The guy next to him is just trying to high-five anybody he can find. He sees me not wearing anything. The guy next to me, Mike, is wearing the hoodie that he could barely see. So I just went off. I click on the heart rate on my watch. I see it just starting to escalate. And as soon as this guy turned his head, I lost. Hey, man, you don't know nothing about the team. You're just a bandwagon. I just let it rip. I let her rip, and Mike and my wife, they said, hey, Allen, we got to go now. That's how my Saturday went. The 209 says, if that's the case, then go home for the day. What are we on talk radio for if we can't talk about our team? Well, we're not on talk radio. I am. And I'm not going to talk about a game for a team that I know is not going to be the same. I never said I wasn't going to talk about the Kings. I said this specific roster, there's nothing to talk about. Okay, 209, it's your show. What do you want to talk? You want to talk about? Hold on. Let's discuss Sabonis, 21 rebounds and 17 points. Boy, oh boy, that's great.
I'm sure the game went very well.
Let's discuss De'Aaron Fox, 23 points. We're past that. It's time to think outside the box. This team is done. It's done. So if you didn't understand or comprehend what I was saying, I never said I wasn't going to talk about the Kings. I said I'm not spending time on the nooks and crannies of this roster when we know the inevitable is going to change. Now, like I said, Mike Brown is a part of that. If Mike Brown is out and it's the same roster, we can look at things differently. But until then, what's the point? 916-339-1140. We got Tim on the other side. More your calls, more your texts, more your sack chat. Another opportunity to win tickets in the 11 o'clock hour. And it's going to be a different team. At least I hope so. Allen Stiles, Sackdown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sackdown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sackdown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center.
We're going to start out the day with some areas of patchy morning fog and temperatures in the low 50s, but this afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high of 62. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on Detroit. It's the final regular season home game presented by SAP. Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their root op with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays. But if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's great.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work. And that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. We've got more tackle. Grab deep discounts on a huge selection of fishing gear, apparel, and accessories at the giant Fisherman's Warehouse booth. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my all-electric SUV for a little more than a year, and I continue to love it day after day. In fact, me and my daughter, we were just on vacation not too long ago, and we rented a car while we were on the trip, and my daughter said, Dad, I like your car better. I turned to her and said, honey, you know what? I like it better as well, and I couldn't wait to get back home to my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. You know, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they are more than just a dealership. They're a partner you can trust throughout the entire entire ownership of your luxury vehicle. Whether it's a refined C-Class or a versatile SUV lineup, your perfect Mercedes-Benz is there waiting for you. Plus, right now, you can enjoy 3.24% APR for up to 72 months on certified pre-owned models on approved credit. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is your trusted partner in luxury and reliability, and they've been doing it for more than 30 years. So head on down right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Evan Cidery coming up at 12 to talk more De'Aaron Fox and the state of the Kings. We are going to get to these calls and texts, but I had something I wanted to break down here. And really what I wanted to say and how I wanted to kind of say it is that I think that when it comes to Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, the biggest issue here is that De'Aaron Fox is not good enough for Domantas Sabonis, and Domantas Sabonis is not good enough for De'Aaron Fox. When you look at the other duos in the league, they're either both elite or one is super elite and the other does enough to carry their weight. The one that sticks out in my mind the most, you got Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray never made an all-star game. I wouldn't say often injured, but can be injured more often than you would like. But Jokic is so good that it still works. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, both of them probably right there for that super megastar, but they're both so good, it's enough. And obviously that Celtics team is ridiculous. You look at some of the newer guys on the way up. We'll see, but you got Shea. He also has Jalen Williams and Chet when he's available. So those two guys, that duo, and this is something that's happened throughout the league. CJ McCollum and Dame Lillard, John Wall and Bradley Beal. And a lot of those guys dealt with less competitive conferences than what the West is right now. So you have Domantas Sabonis, you have De'Aaron Fox. They're both really, really good, but one isn't good enough for the other. Then you bring in DeMar DeRozan. He was supposed to fix that, and he didn't. And it wasn't just DeMar. Then you had DeMar DeRozan, and you had Keegan Murray, who was supposed to take that leap, and he hasn't. So you were just looking for something to give when it comes to De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, whether you were going to choose one or the other or prove that they can make it work, and it just never happened. So when we discuss the next moves that these guys should make, the next move that the Kings should make, one thing I think is clear. Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox as a duo need to be surrounded by either other really, really good players or maybe one other borderline elite player. But the two of them by themselves, not good enough. And it's unfortunate, but honestly, that happens more often than not in the NBA. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Tim. We got Tim, Edward, and Steven. We'll just go in order. Tim wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Tim? Happy Monday. What you got for us?
Happy Monday, guys. What a dumpster fire we have right now. I got a question for you guys. What are the numbers 1.5, 3, 6, and 3.5 mean to you guys?
Not sure.
That's the line of the last 4 games, and we were favored in all of them. Sacramento Kings fans are missing out on an opportunity to make some great money. But anyways, Fox is definitely not good enough. I've called before. He's not good enough. A guy that misses more shots than gets assists as a point guard, he's a big problem. So we got.
So Tim, you'd move him?
Absolutely.
Thanks for the call, Tim. We got one. Keep a tally, because I mean, these are the options, and the options you really never hear about is moving Domantas Sabonis, right? And I'm not saying that it should. I just do find it interesting that Domantas Sabonis to me is the most untouchable player for the fans. That's the feeling I've gotten. We'll get calls about moving Fox. We'll get calls about moving Keegan, and I guess if you want to count Malik Monk, I would say Sabonis and Malik. Everybody else can go. So if you essentially have to choose between one of the two, and I don't, it's not that you have to, but I'll tell you this much: Cam Johnson, Trey Lyles, Kevin Huerter, and some picks for Cam Johnson. I don't think this team is a Cam Johnson away. It does not feel like this team is a Cam Johnson away. And that would be an expensive Cam Johnson because he's having one of the best seasons of his career. So you're going to overpay for Cam Johnson. And we'll talk about the nightmare scenario with the Sam Amick, Anthony Slater article. That'll be at 11 after we give away more tickets. But I do not believe that this team is a Cam Johnson away anymore. Maybe at one point they were, but not anymore. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Edward. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Edward? Happy Monday. What you got for us?
Hello, Alan. Thank you for taking calls today.
Mm-hmm.
I called you a couple of weeks ago, and I told you where De'Aaron Fox was going to be traded to, and that's the Washington Wizards.
Right.
And that's been in the works since he turned down the second time he was offered the $50 million a year contract extension. So Fox, by not accepting either time when it was offered, and both, by the way, both of those were very fair numbers. $50 million a year is fair for him. $70 million is ridiculous. He has basically been orchestrating his own departure. And it's not his fault either, because if we take an overview, the Kings are in a 5-team division with 4 multi-billionaire owners who don't mind going way into the luxury tax. Vivek is a multi-millionaire. I don't know if he's a multi-billionaire, but he has partners. He is not going into the luxury tax. So when De'Aaron says, I want to see what this team looks like, are we going to contend every year? What he's saying is, Vivek, are you going to be like the other owners in our division? And Vivek is not going to. So Fox is going to orchestrate his departure. However, there's one big event coming up in the NBA that's going to change everything, especially for the Kings. Do you immediately know what it is? Because I'll just answer my own.
Just answer it for me.
Expansion.
Okay.
Expansion, which means realignment, because now we'll have 4 4-team divisions in each conference. So the conferences will change. If the Kings can get out of a 5-team conference with 4 multi-billionaire owners, which they can, unfortunately they'll need the help of the Warriors, what you could see is a division of the 2 Southern California teams, Phoenix and Las Vegas, in expansion. And then the Kings, Warriors, Portland, and Seattle in expansion. And the other, there's some other moves to be made, and I know what they are, but if you get the Kings in a competitive division, by the way, when they go to that, they will most likely play 6 games each year in division rather than 4, and 4 against the other teams, and just 1 against each team in the East, alternating home and away each year. So you're going to have the Kings in a much more favorable position if they can get away from, of course, the Warriors would like those divisions to include a California division, Warriors, Kings, Clippers, Lakers. There's nothing good for us there.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Edward. There are a lot of moving pieces and thinking forward the way Edward does. I'm very fascinated by what's going to happen next, But as far as how Edwards started the conversation with De'Aaron Fox, yeah, there is momentum, right, building around that piece and Rich Paul coming up to talk to the Kings to essentially say, and I've been saying this is the beginning of the end because of a lot of the things that Edward just said. How much are the Kings going to have to do to keep De'Aaron? And then it gets to the point where maybe, like I've always said, does De'Aaron want to be a number one? He's saying, I don't think that you need to do that for me. I don't think that you even need to do that for me. Just let me go. You can get a haul for me. I can go be an elite number two somewhere else. I can be the best looking Robin the league's ever seen, and we move from there. So Edwards' initial point on De'Aaron kind of starting this process, I personally am not really sure how they keep De'Aaron Fox. And if you keep De'Aaron Fox, it's either Sabonis or Keegan's gone. So the core four, whatever you want to call it, somebody's going to be gone before this season is over. We just don't know who. I feel like we're on Survivor. Coming up next, we continue the conversation. We have more of your calls to get through. Steven, JR, we see ya. And we will get to the Sam Amick story, and we will start that off on what we witnessed come out this past weekend. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you gotta drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for the wrap-up the year sales event?
Well, I can't believe we made this work. I had to double check to make sure it was legit. But right now you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in for as low as $5 a month plus tax for 24 months with $49.95 due at signing.
Oh, sorry, I must have misheard you. Did you say $5 a month?
I know, it's crazy. But for less than the cost of a cup of coffee each month, you can be driving around a brand new Dodge Hornet. But this $5 a month deal can't last long.
Yeah, I can see why. If you want a new car with a monthly payment half the price of a fast food meal, you better hurry to Hoblet Dodge in Woodland. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$5 for 24-month lease offer before tax and license. Must be California West Business Center resident. Rebates include $6,500 SFS hybrid electric federal tax credit, subject to change without notice, and $2,500 West BC lease cash. $49.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year with 30-cent fee per mile over. Tax and license extra. For this net savings. Sample VIN A13914. See dealer for details.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more super. That means more for you. More apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at HagenOaks.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We are beginning the De'Aaron Fox conversation. And the biggest thing for me is when it comes to moving off of De'Aaron Fox, there is a rabbit hole that you go down if that happens. Simply because if you're going to move De'Aaron Fox and keep Domantas Sabonis, who are you going to get back that keeps the Kings competitive enough that it makes sense to keep Domantas Sabonis, right? Because if you move De'Aaron Fox for 8,000 draft picks, that's great. But then the initial question is, well, why are you keeping Domantas Sabonis to play on a team that you're not really doing too much? Now, in a perfect world, you get somebody that ends up exceeding expectations. I think a perfect world, as the Thunder are the model right now, not to get all of those picks or whatever the case may be, because they've gotten it from a lot of different places. But the perfect world is you find the next Shea. You find the guy who accelerates quickly, and you're still able to pair him with Domantas Sabonis. But the chances of that happening are pretty low.
Yeah.
They're pretty low, I would say, because I don't even know who that guy is. I mean, we're about to get to this article, and I will give you the name of the team that is pointed out as a team very closely monitoring the Kings situation more than other teams. And we can go down that roster and say, could this be the guy? I think there are possibilities, but everybody thinks that they got the next Shea, right? So the chances of that happening are low. So I guess maybe you see what happens for a year, and then it's a slower gutting. It's okay. Turns out, and I'm not gonna spoil the tease. Okay, Bleep isn't as good as we thought. Now we have to move Sabonis. That's probably how this happens.
So this is the interesting part, is that as much as the NBA has changed over the last 30 years, where the game is almost completely unrecognizable from where it was, the one thing that still stays the same is your best chances of becoming a championship team are to draft a future Hall of Famer who you then develop and remains with your organization 10 years after you've drafted him, right? That's still the best way to win a championship. And what's so unique about the Shea one is that the Clippers had him and let him go, right? Maybe Shea wasn't that player when he was playing for the Clippers and playing for Doc Rivers, but like the Clippers drafted that future MVP, first team All-NBA player and let him go. In fact, Oklahoma City tried to trade Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to Detroit for Cade Cunningham back when that draft was happening, and Detroit was the team that said no. So it's hard to even identify who that player is at this point of their careers 5 years in. So if you're Sacramento and you're trying to say, our best chance to get better than where we are now is to hit the reset and try and find some new guy, it's hard to find that person already in the league. And wouldn't every team already say, if we've identified that player on our team, why would we then get rid of that player unless that player says, I want to leave?
Right. And it turns into, again, teams that are trying to fit a specific model that also have good enough players that the Kings would either, if the Kings decide they want to keep Sabonis and try to keep this thing going, hey, you can sell me on X player who's under 25 and could take that leap, or all right, we're just going to go full-blown young guys, get a pick, or get a bunch of picks, and eventually Sabonis is going to be next, and DeMar DeRozan will just, kind of age out.
Sure, but the nice thing about DeRozan is that no matter who you bring in, whether it's a Cam Johnson, a Kyle Kuzma, or a bigger trade, like trading one of the core 5 pieces of the team, having Domantas Sabonis as the point center is great for any team trying to build with.
And who knows? I mean, DeMar, if this thing goes south, who's not to say that DeMar would say, I got about a couple years left. I came here to play competitive, not to be camp counselor. Get me out of here too. Who knows? 916-339-1140. Let's get to Steven, wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? Happy Monday. What you got for us?
Happy Monday, man. I owe you an apology, my guy, between you and I, man. So I never got a chance to apologize to you for all my shenanigans that we texted back and forth to. So, dude, I owe you a sincere apology, my friend. So
hey, no worries. Emotions were high. It's all good. Just blame it on the Kings.
Oh, I will. I work at a dealership. Long story short, I just wanted to share this story with you because I think this kind of encompasses about how everyone's feeling right now. I went to the waiting room to go get myself some coffee. I saw this guy in the brand new City Edition hoodie, which looks really good. And I was like, "Hey, man, nice hoodie." I was like, "Man, it really is kind of tragic to be a Kings fan right now." You know what I'm saying? Over the past weekend, it's kind of lackluster, don't you think? And he said, "Dude, I'm a season ticket holder, and I have been a season ticket holder since '85." And these last 15 games this is the most disappointing and the most emotional low, basically, that I've ever had in this team. This guy has no confidence. He said it's just lackluster, and it's been the least enjoyable 10 to 15 games he's ever experienced with the Kings fan. And this guy's a 40-year, season ticket holder, dang near. So, I mean, it's just really, really, really sad to hear this state because it almost feels like this portion of where we are at as a Kings organization is almost worse than when we were the laughing stock of the league, because we walked into the regular season of being like, hey, we already know that we're going to be trash, but I mean, we're going to have some fun while we're at it. Yeah. But now we have all this glimmer of hope. And we have this chance of, all these fans are walking out in the third quarter, just like you did on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the big thing is, thanks for the call, Steven. Have a great holiday. The big thing is the expectations. That's the difference. That's why the guy in the City Edition hoodie is so sad, because of the expectations. When you're in blow-up mode, there are no expectations. When you are building, the Blazers don't get booed. There's no expectations. You had the Beam Team season, and let's talk about it. Each and every day, Sacramento is down so bad right now because everything that other people have said, it's starting to look kind of true. Remember when everybody was defending, and again, just like a comedian, I think any city should be able, when comedians make fun of everybody, cool, right? Don't pick on specific types of people, but you make fun of everybody, we get it. Sacramento, just like any other city, when we make fun of LA, when they got some bad takes or whatever the case is, or how reality is shaping out, we did so much talking about what the Kings were that Beam Team season. And everybody was saying, oh, you guys were kind of just the most healthy team. And we sat there, whoa, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh, trying to bag on Sacramento. Okay, and maybe they were. But now 2 years later, even last season and now this season, with teams and there were no Grizzlies last season, you still didn't make the playoffs. So these teams have gotten healthier. They've gotten better, and it's starting to look kind of fluky. I've always said that Kings season was not as fluky as the Giants' 107-win season, but each and every loss, it's starting to look a bit more familiar. JR, TC, we got you on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Get even more savings this holiday season by becoming a Milo's Rewards member. Don't miss new member deals dropping every week, like $15 off a purchase of $50 or more on select Bounty, Charmin, and Puffs paper products. Plus, get free standard shipping with Silver Key status. Just one more way Lowe's is here to help you shop, save, and enjoy the holidays. Join for free today. Milo's Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change. Exclusions and more terms apply. Visit Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get ready for rotten legend Bret Michaels, bringing his unforgettable show to the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno on December 28th. Experience all the hits, all the energy with the iconic voice of Bret Michaels. And here's the ultimate rock star bonus, a chance to win a signed guitar from Bret himself, exclusively at the show. Don't miss your chance to rock out and create memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. December 28th, Bret Michaels at the Nugget Reno, where rock and roll dreams come true.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's Own Report.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Kyle, what are you doing? It's not, though. It will be once you make a move.
Well, no, it won't be for the Kings.
In general. I
feel like everyone's anxieties are so high. Everyone's just having a bad day. So you know what? We're just gonna chill everyone out here. I had an amazing weekend personally, so I'm having a great day. I'm not letting this get me down. Everyone just take a little breath, you know?
Yeah, I truly think the anger was after that second loss to the Lakers Saturday game. I don't believe there were a lot of NBA games on Saturday, so more eyes on the Kings and LeBron just little broing all of them. I just can't get that scene. Somebody's got to have a picture of 3 little kings trying to take down the king. So last night, to me, was just more depressing than anything else.
Yeah, everyone was sad over it.
It was just sad.
But you were in the building. What was the vibe? Everyone was just kind of down?
Everyone was down. It even feels like, I don't know if they're just not scoring as much, but it feels like they're not playing the little sounders after they score as much. It's just, like I said, dead man walking. You know, it's just, they're just walking the plank.
Look, good.
We don't know how long the plank is, but
good vibes here today. You know, it's the holidays.
No, I know.
I'm hopping on a flight home after the show ends. You know, good vibes.
Christmas in San Diego. How cold does it get in San Diego? About 65?
I think tomorrow it's going to be 61.
Oh my goodness.
I think.
Bundle up.
At night it's going to drop down to 50, I think, where I grew up.
I think I'm going to try to sneak in. Yeah, I'm trying to sneak in some golf somewhere here. I was at William Land with an old coworker over the weekend, and you know, I can't chip, man. That's my Christmas gift to learn how to chip, hopefully. 916-339-1140. And you won't be golfing tomorrow. Apparently it's supposed to be dumping rain everywhere, and it was not raining in the gym because nobody can make a shot. Let's talk to JR. wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, JR? What you got for us?
Merry Christmas, ladies.
Merry Christmas.
Nivea, whatever those other things are.
Yeah.
So I want to tag on that last guy. So I moved up there, kind of like you, late 90s, The Rock, Mitch Richmond, that team, fell in love with the Kings, gave up my Warriors love.
Mm-hmm.
In all these years, of course, great years, early 2000s, Weber and Bibby and all the, Page and all that great regime, and then the depressing years. I'm going to tell you, last night's game, like the guy said, but I'm just saying last night, the most painful game to watch live I've ever watched live.
Yeah.
And I usually go to quite a few here during the Hollywood, the holiday break to see games, bring friends or customers, whatever, and just had nothing to say after that. We stayed the whole game. We watched DeRozan get into it with a fan. Just turned and told him to, shut up.
Wait. DeRozan did?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he screamed out at the dude. The guy was in his, what? I think at the time he might have had 8, not even that. Did he end up with 6? I don't even know what he ended up with. Mm-hmm. But he got right into him, and DeRozan turned and said, shut the F up.
And this was a Kings fan, it looked like? Or
yeah, full Kings fan. No, full Kings fan. Probably a season ticket holder. He's right behind us.
Oh,
right to him. And it was during the break, and you were right. There was not any kind of energy with the sound stuff.
Yeah.
Even what's his name that does the walk around and does trivia and stuff.
Yeah.
He was kind of I'm giving out free toothbrushes, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, how many teeth do you have in your mouth? And Slamson was even with his little suit, kind of whatever.
Yeah.
It hurt me to watch the end of them. We stayed because we were going to go out anyway and beat Doko, but I was I physically hurt, my body from watching this. And it's the worst one I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rough stuff. Thanks for the call, JR. Have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. And I'm 0-2 now in games that I've gone to as a fan when my friends have also come with us. We lost when our friends from the Bay, from Oakland, came up, and it was Kings-Knicks, lost that game. Friends from the Bay Area by way of Napa came up on Saturday. Lakers, lost to the Lakers, got into it with some Lakers fans. It's crazy. And, my face is everywhere, so had to get out of there. Wifey is getting me out of Dodge before my face pops up on the screen. It's not my fault. That guy started it. And it's the Kings' fault for not taking care of business. Let's get to TC. We see you, Ken and Matt, as well. Let's get to TC, wants to be part of the convo. What's up, TC?
What's up, bro?
We just getting through it, TC. Getting through it.
Yeah, man, we getting through it, man. So listen, I'm at a point, right? You know what I mean? So I'm at a point we got to figure something out. I'm not with the whole moving on from Mike Brown. If anything, Monty, you got to make some moves, bro, or you got to go in that opinion. But I know it's back and forth. Everybody's torn about who should go. But at the end of the day, this is where I'm at with Fox, bro. He's not a leader. To me, we need to holler at the Spurs, and we need to holler at these teams that got these multiple first-round picks in the first round, bro. So if we sitting in San Antonio right now, bro, I take Castle, the boy Champagne, and 3 first-round picks, bro. They got 4 draft picks and a first-round pick. So if you're not looking to stay here, bro, and it's becoming an issue with you, bro, then let's move on now, bro. Cut the ties, because at the end of the day, bro, you're not a leader. It's been 8 years, bro. We've been looking for a person to be a leader, bro, and you're not. You're just a laid-back cat that's just a hooper.
Yeah, thanks for the call, TC. And that's what I keep going back to. De'Aaron Fox is a heck of a player, but De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis together is just not good enough. And all the things we were worried about as far as DeMar DeRozan, and yes, he's had some playoff success. That was a while ago, but you just add him in, take away Harrison Barnes, bing, bam, boom. Well, there was no bing, there was no bang, there was no boom. Keegan Murray, we read it off yesterday. Matchup minutes, the toughest matchup minutes. These are defenders who've had to guard the top scores on the other team, top scorers in the league. Keegan Murray is 4th on that list, over 100 minutes. So I looked at that, and it made me think of Keegan offensively a bit differently, because everybody else on that list, it was the Drew Holidays of the world, and guys and Dyson Daniels, where you're not expecting that much of an offensive output. But we got Keegan Murray at 24, 4th on that list, and we're going to get on Keegan about shooting? Now, maybe we want Keegan to get there one day, but I read that list and Keegan dropped down as far as my blame pie is concerned. But again, roster construction and the fact that Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox just not good enough together. And I do not know what happened. Here's the crazy part. DeMar DeRozan, if he had been playing like he was playing to start the season, they probably win a couple of those games. I don't know what happened to DeMar DeRozan. I do not know. My guess, he might be dealing with an injury, his back earlier in the season. I don't know what happened, but it doesn't change the fact that you not getting that production from him is a problem. It's a problem. 916-339-1140. Matt, we see you. Ken beat you to it. What's up, Ken? What you got for us? Ken.
I already know it's not great. How you fellas doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Ken?
Hey, man, I'm as best as I can be, man. A couple of days before Christmas, man. These Kings, man, got my belly wrong, man. It's not right, man. So
I hear you.
Listen, man, we need to get rid of that bean. Cream the bean, man. That's pressure on the team, man, for one. Like I said before, every team comes in here is like, listen, we're not going to let them light the beam tonight. You go to another city, another state to play, we're not going to let them light the beam in Sacramento tonight. It's a big pressure on the squad. The squad is we got three consistent players. Sabonis, Fox is consistent. Monk is consistent pretty much every night as far as they play.
Mm-hmm.
Our bench is terrible. You got a terrible bench. You're talking about getting rid of Mike Brown. We got Popovich in San Antonio. That guy's been there a long time. Ups and downs, losing, winning. It's about consistency with your coach, and especially in that position.
Mm-hmm.
We got rid of Mike Malone a long time ago. You know how that story went. You know what I'm saying? Sacramento is quick to make decisions about our squad and blame it on other people and don't hold the players accountable. When you got Herter, he can't make a 3-point shot. You got Murray, he can't make a 3-point shot. You can't depend on Lyles to come into the game to boost the momentum of the bench. We got Jay Crowder. You're not even playing him. What do we get him for? You know what I'm saying? I'm not understanding the concept of the team, and I'm not understanding. We got a lot of Kings fans. We want to push Mike Brown out, but I'm close. I hear Mike Brown. I hear the team. I hear the intensity of the coaching. I hear the intensity that the team wants to play with, but they're not playing with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. People ask me. I said, I do not know what's going on with the squad, but it's not the coach. You know what I'm saying? It's the bench.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Ken. I think that would be really tough, right? I think worst case scenario for Mike Brown, and he will be paid, but you get let go and Monty makes a move for whoever that new coach is. And the new coach gets Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson, and Mike Brown is thinking I was the sacrificial lamb here, right? So that's a huge part of it. Let's sneak in Matt before we get to the other side. What's up, Matt? What you got for us?
Yeah, kind of what the last caller just said. I don't see what firing Coach Brown's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Coach of the year a few years ago. No coaches are perfect. They make mistakes. I think he's made some mistakes, but I think that players need to be held more accountable. And yeah, I'm just going to say it. When it comes to Fox, I appreciate his years. We all think he's a great player. I just don't think he's a leader. I mean, I see him in timeouts on the bench. He's not vocal. We need a leader on this team. He doesn't want to be a leader. It does suck to say it. I love the dude, but I think it's time to move on from De'Aaron Fox, and especially now that there's these rumors that he doesn't want to stay, he wants to move on, whatever. True, what's false, who knows what's really the truth, but I think it might be time to consider moving on.
Thanks for the call, Matt. De'Aaron Fox, we're about to break down everything that Sam Amick and Anthony Slater had to say. I do want to get back to Ken, and I don't want to gloss over it. Some of you may have been listening last year when we discussed the beam, and I got fried on social media. I came in a little hot. I'd only been here for a couple months, and I talked about if the Kings don't make the playoffs, would you discuss getting rid of the beam? And I just asked a question. I didn't say to get rid of it.
Okay.
And I got fried. And here we are a year later, and it sounds crazy. It sounds ridiculous. It's not that high on my priority list, but I do think that this team is just not built for any sort of pressure. They're just not. And maybe that starts with De'Aaron Fox, but that's why I keep saying De'Aaron Fox is not going to be a number one anywhere else he goes. And that's not disrespectful. He might be a 1B, and he maybe even a 1A. But when you talk about these other dudes where it's clear cut, I don't think De'Aaron Fox wants to be that guy. I think he wants to win. But again, I don't think De'Aaron is saying it's got to be me. I think he is from the LeBron era, the Steph Curry era, where I can be a guy who, when you need me, I'm bleeping nice, but it doesn't have to be all me all the time. All right. On the other side, we give away those Kings tickets. The calls keep coming in. We'll keep getting to them, but we do want to get to this Sam Amick article. 45 minutes. Evan Cidery joins us of Forbes. And if you are curious what's going to happen with De'Aaron, Evan Cidery, he has that insight. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. About to give away these tickets. So if you're on the phone line, you're going to have to call back. We're going to clear the phone lines. Kyle says, hey, Allen, we got to do some substance. Can't let the callers just roast the whole time. I said, Kyle, I'm on my Paul Feinbaum. We just got callers. I'm on my Paul Feinbaum show. We just going callers all day, but we are going to get to this Sam Amick article that was the heater and Anthony Slater. That started things, what was that, Saturday morning? Then they lost to the Lakers, and then they lost to the Lakers, and they lost to the Pacers. So this all started it. I'm about to break down the highlights from that, but let's get to these tickets. Start 2025 with a bang at Golden One Center with the Kings. The Kings will play the Sixers, Grizzlies, and Heat to start off the new year. Join us for a thrilling New Year's Day matchup when the Kings host Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. 916-339-1140, looking for caller number 3. Caller number 3 for the big 3 that might get broken up. Caller number 3 to see your Sacramento Kings. And like I keep saying, I do think the vibes will be different by the time this game comes around. Secure your seats now at kings.com/tickets if you are not a lucky winner. If you don't win this one, we have 2 more chances. But caller number 3 right now, 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. Will you be the reason the Kings get back on the right track? Will you be the reason? Kyle, I believe, has found his winner. You will have 2 more chances throughout the day. All right, let's get to this article from Sam Amick and Anthony Slater, 2 of my guys. Anthony Slater and I go way back. Why De'Aaron Fox and the struggling Kings have entered the danger zone around the Stars' future. So the first thing they talk about is the fact that Rich Paul, if you did see him on the bench, Rich Paul was up to talk to Monty McNair, Wes, the front office. So that conversation happened on Thursday, okay? They go on to say, league sources say Paul, who sat next to Fox's wife, Risay, throughout the loss that dropped the Kings to 13-15 at the time, was in Sacramento to meet with general manager Monty McNair and assistant general manager Wes Wilcox before the game. The discussion, league and team sources said, was focused on an existential question that needs to be answered if this partnership that began 8 seasons ago between Fox and the Kings is going to continue long term. And the question, what's the plan here? Just like a relationship, what's the plan here? So a lot of the same things that we've talked about before, that De'Aaron Fox declined the offer to see what exactly, or the extension to see what exactly is going to happen with the Sacramento Kings. This is going back to the article. While league sources say Fox has not asked for a trade, the former All-Star and his prominent agent are reading the room in Sacramento before deciding what comes next. Fox, who hired Paul in November 2022, has another season left on his current deal. He has long raved about the Sacramento experience, lauding the passion of the fans and saying that he wants to be one of the few NBA players who spends their entire career in one location. He spent part of this week donating money and toys to families in need at multiple events in the region. So that is basically where everything is at. The other part of this that really stuck out to me, and I think a lot of people, if you want to whip out the trade machine, this is what Sam and Slater had to say. Meanwhile, rival executives are monitoring the Fox situation closely, and league sources say one team in particular, the San Antonio Spurs, is positioning itself to pursue the Houston native as a possible partner for Victor Wembanyama, should Fox become available. Barring a significant Kings turnaround, others are surely close behind. And what happens after this dropped at, what was it, 9 in the morning on Saturday? They've lost the 2 games since then. And they lost 1 game to the Lakers. And I've seen De'Aaron Fox in Lakers gear, I guess, from his workout. Lakers fans are boosting that up. And you have the other side of this with the Spurs, who we know that they're interested as well. So you lose to the Lakers, and then you lose to Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. I'm just not really sure how this thing turns around, y'all. I just don't see it personally. Now, I'm saying that as it pertains to rolling the same team out. Something has to be done. I'm just not sure that that's something as Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and some picks, probably more than you want because Cam Johnson has been playing so well for Cam Johnson. I like Cam Johnson. And there are people that do think that this team is just close. But they gave up last night. Can we say that? Am I allowed to say that? They quit last night. That's what it looked like. Like I said, I've been playing these Mike Brown post-game pressers a lot. I'm not doing that today. There's no point. It's the same thing. They're not doing it. It's not working. If you have a kid that is struggling in a certain subject, whether it be math or whatever the case may be, chemistry, and the way that teacher teaches it, it doesn't work, what do? You say, hey, maybe you should get some extra help. Maybe you should get a tutor. We need to find a different way to get you this information. And that is the one thing that I have to say about Coach Mike Brown. At least on the outside, it doesn't really feel like they're trying different things. Because I'll tell you this much. I know it's the day after Christmas, and I was half joking about it on Friday. I am pulling out all the stops, and I'm just throwing out a random lineup. Because playing these guys to the bone, these 6, 7, 8 dudes, and losing games is not helping anything. It's not helping anything. I know it's easier said than done. You don't want to look like you're throwing a game, but they looked like they threw that game yesterday. Not that they threw it, but you didn't get a full effort all season long. All right, Kyle's giving me the Dame Lillard. Got to get to a break. On the other side, we've got some texts we want to read into And we are getting back to the phone lines because we got to get back to the phone lines. About 30 minutes before Evan Cidery joins us to break down this De'Aaron Fox stuff. And who would you move? De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis? Maybe you're still out there saying it's just a coaching thing. The roster is good enough. What would you do? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We're going to start out the day with some areas of patchy morning fog and temperatures in the low 50s, but this afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high of 62. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Coach Christie here reminding you it's the final days of year-end savings right now at Folsom Lake Kia. Don't miss last chance massive year-end discounts. Hurry to Folsom Lake Kia or folsomlakekia.com.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest that you're Cabana side. Slade hot yoga, treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings, get that me time. Adults at a little extra today, you deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And when you want a little snack with your smoothie, pair our new Hawaiian barbecue slider with our new caramelized pineapple smoothie for a match made in pineapple paradise. Limited time only.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, it's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
I'm Craig Ashton with the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. It may sound contradictory for a personal injury firm to wish you a safe holiday season, but we at Ashton & Price wish that no one has to suffer an injury in an automobile collision. But if you're an accident injury victim, you can lean on Ashton & Price to do all the legal legwork and introduce you to the best medical care providers in the area. So during this holiday season, you can focus on your health and your family. So from all of us at Ashton & Price, we advise you to have the happiest and safest of holidays.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake.
favorite to win Rookie of the Year right now.
He's playing 2-guard right now for the Spurs, but was kind of projected as a 1-2 kind of hybrid coming out of school.
There you go. So he's been balling. Obviously, you're very familiar with Champagny, who always balls against the Kings. Devin Vassell, guys like that, Keldon Johnson, and a bunch of picks. I don't know, right? But maybe that's the best you can do. I'm looking here at all these guys under 25, and surprise, surprise, I don't think any team would move off of them. The one that might be crazy enough to do it, because they might want to, and this is me just being extremely random. I don't know about the money or anything like that, but the one team that I could see making a move, or there's two random teams that you just would not count them out of anything. If Philly thought that getting De'Aaron Fox with Paul George and Joel Embiid would be kind of a last stand, and then you have De'Aaron to take you into the future, and they're willing to come off of Tyrese Maxey, I think that would be interesting. But I'm very high on Tyrese Maxey, and Philly might say, I think we have somebody who can do what De'Aaron can do right now at 6 years or 5-6 years younger and cheaper. So I don't think that would happen, but if maybe I'm overvaluing Tyrese Maxey and undervaluing De'Aaron Fox. Who knows? That's one team. The other team that is a Western Conference team who I just would throw them in there because they're always willing to do something would be the Timberwolves, just because they're always willing to do something and they're struggling. No clue what that looks like. Neither of these teams have been mentioned, just off the top of my head. Just teams that feel like they're a De'Aaron Fox away. I think that you go to the Spurs and again, just like I said, De'Aaron would be 1B, option 2, pretty much. And they build around that. I'd have to see it, to be completely honest with you. You still need more. De'Aaron, Harrison Barnes, and Wemby, they're not trying to win a championship this season, but that would be step number 1 for the Spurs. That would be step number 1. And again, Wemby's supposed to be all world. So that would be step number 1 for the Spurs. And the only reason we're talking about this because of the heater that dropped on The Athletic on Saturday, as they discussed what Rich Paul was doing out here, talking to Wes Wilcox and Monty McNair. And then the Kings went on to drop the next 2 games. And I got my Twitter social media notifications on. I'm still waiting for something to drop, and nothing's dropped yet. So what is happening? What is going to happen? 916-339-1140. Let's get back to the phone lines. Rob, Ashley, and Daniel. Let's start with Rob from Rancho. What's up, Rob? What you got for us?
Hey, how's it going, Alan?
Hey.
So I got. It's hard. It's hard because I wasn't trying to call about Fox, and obviously I agree with you. If you kick the tires and Tyrese Maxey is on the table for Fox, which obviously is probably not on the table normally, but if they'd listen to that phone call, that would be worth a conversation, obviously. But I mean, trading Fox is a tough situation because of a few things. I think personally, I think Rich Paul kind of messed I think he made the situation worse by making this so public, as well as Fox, because I think he ties the Kings' hands a little bit, because other teams now know that, okay, maybe there is trouble, in Sac. Maybe he does want out, and now they also could be looking at, lowering their asking price, or their offer, rather, and not matching that asking price of what, we all in Sacramento have come to believe Fox is worth. I mean, that kind of hinders their ability to go find a good trade partner.
Right. Their leverage is kind of messed up now.
Exactly. And that's what I really called it, because I do think you're also right. I think they quit the other last night against Pacers. It was hard to watch at the end of that game. They quit, on each other and on themselves. And I think they've done that a few times when the going gets tough. And you were saying, I don't know if this team has ever really been built to succeed in the crunch time of games. And I'm starting to agree with that more and more, the more we see the same old song and dance from them. And that's what I think has really been the miscalculated step by Fox and Rich Paul with how they've handled this so publicly. Because, okay, Fox does all that, all the convincing to get DeMar to come out here. And then, he's come to find out not even 40 games into the season, DeMar's starting to hear all these things about, well, Fox might leave now. And he's like, well, why did I come to Sacramento if Fox is going to leave?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Rob. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that jazz. How many times in a relationship, because this is essentially an ultimatum, right? And it's funny, my wife and I were just watching the new season of Ultimatum on Netflix. It's not as much heat as we typically like, but how many times in a relationship does an ultimatum work? Hey, you need to either move out here or we're done. Sometimes they move out. Sometimes they say, I'm going to stay here. Sorry, I'm not ready to move.
Sure, but what's the ultimatum in this equation?
I think that is the most interesting part. That's why I think De'Aaron Fox is probably gone. Because it's broad. We don't know what it is. It's be better, compete, put pieces around me. That's the problem.
How can that be an ultimatum then?
That's what I'm saying. This is why I don't think De'Aaron Fox is going to stay here. Because it's an ultimatum. Make us better or I'm leaving. Okay, De'Aaron, we got Cam Johnson. Oh, that's actually not enough. The nightmare scenario is that they overpay for Cam Johnson and they lose picks and De'Aaron leaves.
But is that because they're too far gone already? You're saying that it's already too far gone for anything to be done?
I'm not saying it's too far. I'm not saying it's too far gone. What I'm saying is what we think De'Aaron wants is probably not going to happen. And we don't know. We don't know what he actually wants. Does he want Sabonis gone? Why isn't anybody talking about that? Do they like that relationship? I don't know. Nobody knows. If somebody says, Allen, you need to move it. I need to move in with you or it's over. Okay, great. Move in or I don't want you to. It's over. If somebody says, hey, if you don't become better, then I'm leaving. Okay, honey, what do I need to do? I'll just know. What?
Well, then I feel like in that scenario, there's going to be time to kind of figure this out because he's not getting traded anytime soon. So there's going to be a lot of time to figure that out. Because think about this. DeMar DeRozan signed with the Kings, in July? That's 5 months ago. And the earliest De'Aaron Fox is going to get traded is next July, which is 7 months from now. So in the time since DeMar DeRozan landed in Sacramento to now, there's going to be even more time before we're even considering a De'Aaron Fox trade up to that point. So I think there's just so much that's going to change over the next 6 months. But the end result, the most important thing is what's the Kings record going to be at the end of the season? And that's one that's starting to feel more like a foregone conclusion of what direction that one is headed.
916-339-1140. Let's get to Daniel wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Daniel? What you got for us?
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Awesome. That Tyrese Maxey thing, that's pretty interesting,
I don't think they do it, but I would do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, because I don't know, because I don't know what direction they're gonna. Because I was saying in my own head like a couple of weeks ago, maybe they do it for Embiid. I don't know, but I don't know what direction the Kings want to go in. But I put this on my Instagram last night too, that I think the time has come for Mike Brown. And the reason I say, because if you look at any other competitive field, like sports is one of them, somebody who had this type of performance, being the manager, director, or whatnot, would be on the chopping block. And you evaluate the last, 3-4 years he's been here. We went to the playoffs one time. We're not at that point anymore where we just need culture. Like, I give him that. He brought that, but we're past that now. And he has right now, we can talk about Fox and he wants a better roster, but right now we have the best roster we've had since Mike Brown has been here. We have clutch players. We got shooters, 3-point shooters, the whole nine. So I just think the organization needs to make a choice. Are they gonna keep Mike Brown and get rid of Fox, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be? But we also, I feel like, in this last thing, that we can't be in that OKC situation where they just kind of like let Durant choose their destiny, you know?
Right. Yeah. Thanks for the call, Daniel. Yeah, the Tyrese Maxey thing, I just don't think that the Sixers would do it because I think they probably feel like Tyrese Maxey is not that far off from De'Aaron Fox already. But well, it's funny. Jared McCain, he's coming back from injury. There's a conversation to be had, but we're not going to have it right now. As far as the Mike Brown thing is concerned, yeah, Daniel, when you say it's their best roster, is it their best roster or is it their best starting five? That's what I'm struggling with. Is it their best roster they've had so far or their best starting five? Either way, I agree. They should not be whatever their record is. It's losing, so who cares? They should not be that bad. You can't get blown out to the Pacers who have an under 500 record. At home. Ashley, we see you. We'll get to you on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sackdown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sackdown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sackdown Sports app.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so Arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, Folsom Lake Ford. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, like America's best-selling F-Series. Check out a huge selection of Mavericks, F-150s, and Super Duty trucks, or tech-filled SUVs like Explorers and Expeditions. Plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. All in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest finance rates. And Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they are my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. For 35 years and counting, come down and take a test drive today. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from a good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Rock the Bells presents LL Cool J.
So what you got Chanel on your feet? Hot sex on a platter makes the mission complete.
Live in concert. LL Cool J. Saturday, January 18th. The venue at Thunder Valley with DJ Z-Trip. LL Cool J. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss LL Cool J live.
The holiday driving season is here, and my good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an awesome holiday oil change special going on right now. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for up to 5 quarts of full synthetic motor oil with the online coupon. Go visit JiffyLube.com right now, find a location near you, and get that Get $33 off full synthetic oil change coupon now. Most vehicles are covered, specialty vehicles and diesel are extra. You got to show the coupon for discount. See the store for details. Happy holidays from Jiffy Lube.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Air Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
We're home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacramento Sports. We will be joined by Evan Cidery in about 15 minutes. You're not going to want to miss that. Breaking down what he thought of the Sam Amick and Anthony Slater article, what he's hearing around the league, and whether things have shifted from Kings looking for one more piece to Kings giving away pieces. So that's coming up in 15 minutes. I saw on the text line somebody say, I think it was Jeff who said, hey, why don't they just make a switch on the coaching staff and Mike Brown take the second chair? Why do you have to fire him? And Jeff did also admit that that would be weird. Yeah, that's weird. I don't even know if legally they can do that. That ain't happening. Even when they have layoffs all throughout other companies, how often do you see someone get demoted? Right? How often do you see somebody, hey, you're just gonna get a pay cut, right? They don't even ask most of the time. They just let you go, right? Because they don't want to deal with that awkwardness. Can you imagine Mike Brown being an assistant coach on the Kings for whoever they decided to make the head coach? I don't see that happening. But hey, I appreciate the creativity, and Jeff did say, I know it would be weird. I also just don't think that would happen. The 916 Nick, who is one of our P0 listeners, says, Allen, no one brings up Vivek in this situation. What strings is he pulling with Monty? What is or isn't he allowing Monty to do? Yeah, it's because we don't really know, Nick, right? I mean, all we feel like we know is that they would rather stay away from the luxury tax, but that's all we really know. I liken it back to Farhan and the Giants. I mean, Farhan, a lot of people would say Farhan is shopping at, I'm not going to say a store because everyone can shop where they want to shop, but he's in the sale rack, right? Why is he always in the sale rack? Well, maybe that's what he was told to do. They had some bad contracts when Farhan came in. So we don't really know what Monty is or isn't allowed to do, but I do think there is a level of, hey, if you prove that you can do things with this budget, if you will, then we'll give you more. Very similar to a Shark Tank situation. Wow, I invested 5% and you made me this much money. Here you go. Here's another whatever amount of money. I want to invest some more, right? And I want us to continue to make money together. So we don't know. What we do know is that it feels like they are trying to stay away from the luxury tax. And if they are going to go into the luxury tax again, you're not going to go into the luxury tax for a team just to try to get to the second round of the playoffs. That's not what happens typically. You're going to the luxury tax to have a parade. 916-339-1140. Let's get to Ashley. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Ashley? What you got for us?
So I keep saying it. I'm going to say it again. Everyone, a lot of people that I hear are saying that there needs to be a change with Mike Brown. Well, the coach, I feel like, besides the players, the coach is one of the guys that really is there to scheme up and draw up plays. They're one of the most responsible for team success. And I know that we haven't had much of that this year, but we also have to remember what Mike Brown has done. I feel like the GM is there primarily to help out the coach, which our GM isn't doing. And so I feel like that's why Monty should be on the hot seat, not Mike Brown, because Mike Brown has led us to winning. And if he was getting the pieces that he needed, I feel like it would be a little bit easier. With that being said, though, with the roster that we have, I feel like Mike Brown should try trotting out a starting five of something like Fox, Herter, Keon, and Keegan, and Domas, because then we could have a unit for the first unit that's more apt to run, while also keeping Monk and DeRozan on the bench to fix the bench scoring problem.
Isn't that's just the roster from to start the season, right?
For this starting five, that I just threw out, yes. But
right.
So if we don't make any moves, I feel like we should try something out, with that being the starting five, to see how that goes. But I do feel like we need to make a move. But until we make that move, I want to see that starting five.
Thanks for the call, Ashley. So Ashley wants to go back to basics and get back to that the Kevin Herter thing for me is just, he's so confusing. He's so confusing. The discussion about Monty McNair is this to me. And this is why he's, I think, safe or safer. And Dave has kind of agreed with this. So De'Aaron Fox just said what he said, right? So in the midst of it kind of protects Monty, funny enough, in my opinion, because De'Aaron Fox just said what he said. You're going to fire Monty McNair for not making a move, bring in a new GM who has no connection. I mean, unless you promote from inside, you're going to move off of Monty McNair, bring in a new GM to make a move to try to hold on to your superstar. I don't see that happening. I think it's Monty makes this move, depending on whether De'Aaron goes or leaves, then they will look at what Monty did and say, hey, that was good enough. You can stay, or you kind of botched that one. You're gone too.
Well, this is the other thing that people, I feel like, brush over at times. I acknowledge people recognize that it exists, but if you move out a general manager, I'm not even going to specify it for the Kings. If you move out a general manager, the new general manager either A, brings in their own coach, so it's kind of a package deal in that sense. The coach usually sticks around for a year and then gets fired, or the coach gets more power as a result of the general manager going out, and therefore the new general manager then doesn't have the power to get rid of the coach. Therefore, the coach is the de facto general manager.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the difficult thing, is that by moving on from your general manager, you're essentially making an entire regime change, basically. And if you want that for the Sacramento Kings, it's kind of a package deal, because new regime with no ties to the past is going to bring in their own coach, since the coach isn't exactly untouchable right now. And then you're just trusting that new regime to then be the one to potentially trade De'Aaron Fox or trade your superstar down the road.
Yeah, it feels like Monty is in a bizarre way protected, because they've been, even though the roster isn't good enough, he's protected because they haven't been playing to their capabilities right now. If they were knocking on the door and it's, oh, we're the 5 seed, we're the 6 seed, we're trying to stay out of the play and we just need a piece, basically kind of how they started the season, then that would be a conversation. But they're playing so poorly right now, it almost protects Monty from, oh, well, Monty needs to make a move, because Monty can say to Vivek, we all know that roster is better than this.
Yeah, firing a general manager 5 months after making the acquisition for DeRozan is saying that decision was so irresponsible,
right,
that there's no reason, and no one was saying that when they made the move. Everyone thought it was a win for the Sacramento Kings trading for DeMar DeRozan. Firing a general manager now, 30 games into the experiment, would be, that decision you made was so irresponsible that you should not be allowed to make other big picture decisions. That's just not the case.
Let's try to sneak in these calls before we get to Evan Cidery on the other side. Got Mark and Pam. Mark, what you got for us? Got to go quick.
Quick. Oh my gosh. Start over. I mean, when it's funny because I went back to like 2019, just started looking at all the draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every pick is traded to another team just to get under like some kind of salary threshold. I feel like this organization is kind of strangled by the fact they have to keep out of this luxury tax. I mean, look at Mitchell and Sasha being traded with second-round picks for nothing. Nothing came back, and then you get that guy from Toronto and had to get rid of him and gave up another second. I mean, this just all screams from a top-down approach. I think Monty is completely handcuffed or just the most incompetent GM in the history of sports. And he's not that bad, but I mean, I don't think he's that bad. I think he's really strong.
That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know, Mark. And how we started the segment is the same way we'll end it. Sorry, Pam. We got to get to the other side. Don't blame me. Blame Kyle. But be sure to call back. Got 2 more hours. Evan Cidery joins us, 12:15. We're giving away more Kings tickets. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle. Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number 1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company, sold on report.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get discount coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, show map, exhibitor listing, and seminar schedules. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's going on for the wrap-up the year sales events?
We're giving you a head start on next year with up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s, starting as low as $36,325.
Wow, you guys are always looking forward.
Not only do we have great deals on new Ram trucks, the Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, with over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under $20,000.
Now more than ever, Hoblet needs to be your first stop when you need a new or used car. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,000 total net savings on select new Ram 1500 models after 10,500 factory rebates and 5,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 Chrysler Capital bonus cash. Must finance through Chrysler Capital qualify. 500 business upfit, business ownership, and 500 upfit required. And 2,000 Ford Conquest cash. Must own or lease a Ford. No trade-in required. 10th is net savings. 36,325 sample VIN 544-890. See dealer for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports 1140. Your flagship station for the Beam Team. Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, 2 hours down, 2 to go. Home of the Beam Team. Just haven't really seen the Beam that often. And Evan Cidery of Forbes is here to join us to help us figure out when we might see the Beam again. Evan, thank you so much for joining us.
Alan, thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it.
So let's start here, Evan. The heater of an article that drops on Saturday. I have since seen Sam Amick and I've seen Anthony Slater. They've been in the building and been around. Are you hearing anything new? So the article drops. The Kings proceed to lose that game that night on Saturday, and then they lose yesterday. Are you hearing anything new since that article dropped and now with the Kings losing these games as far as what the next move might be?
Yeah, I don't think nothing's really changed in the last 48 hours or so. I think just a sense of like Sacramento has to do something at this point, whether it be make a trade, make a staffing change. You would think if this continues for the next week or so that something would be on the horizon because this team is all in. You have De'Aaron Fox, you have Sabonis, you have DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, and Keegan Murray. Arguably the 5 best combination as far as the starting lineup goes, as far as 1 through 5 talent. And I think you have to go out and at least make some sort of change. So that's the kind of the feel around our league right now, Alan. But I think in the last 48 hours, I would just say keep an eye on Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Those are just the 2 names to look out for as far as potential trade. The Nets want to trade those guys pretty soon because they keep winning games. And the Kings are a really easy match there because 1, they need to make a move, and 2, they have a really huge need there for a wing.
Talking to Evan Cidery of Forbes. Now, Evan, you brought up Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith. I don't know if it would just be one of them. I don't know if it would be both. I have since said, after seeing the Kings these last couple games, I don't know if they're a Cam Johnson away. So as far as that price tag on Cam Johnson, I think the nightmare scenario for the Kings is because we don't necessarily know what De'Aaron wants. He just says, we want to compete, or I want to compete at a high level. So I think the nightmare scenario is that the Kings overpay for Cam Johnson because he's balling. It's not enough. And De'Aaron still ends up requesting a trade after the season if they mess around in the plan or something like that. So what are you hearing as far as the Cam Johnson price tag?
So I reported last month on X. I haven't read a post about it, but I'm getting around to another intel story here later tonight that I'll be posting. The price for Cam Johnson appears to be 2 first-round picks, but they could go for a first-round pick and a prospect that they like, which is why I mentioned yesterday that Devin Carter might be a name to watch there because he's their lottery pick this year for Sacramento. Brooklyn did like Devin Carter in the pre-draft process. That's an easy match there too. That's something to watch out for because I know Brooklyn wants 2 first-round picks. They have at least 10-plus teams that are in on Cam Johnson. He's one of the hotter names in the market right now. So you have to imagine they'll probably get their price tag, and if they don't want to get 2 first-round picks, it'll probably take one of the Kings' top young guys to make that happen, in my opinion, at this point.
Talking to Evan Cidery of Forbes. Evan, as far as De'Aaron Fox is concerned, we've had a lot of conversations about, is this the beginning of the end? When the report comes out that Rich Paul was up here talking to Wes Wilcox and Monty McNair, How do you think this ends for De'Aaron Fox? He still has the ability to make the most money here in Sacramento, but when you kind of put your foot down and you're represented by Rich Paul and Clutch, and we know how that can go, just give us a guess of how you think this thing ends for De'Aaron Fox.
With the way it's going, Allen, and especially the last 4 games and the energy, I watched that game in full last night. And a lot of people were, because they were just intrigued to see how is this Kings team going to respond. And it looked like they honestly quit on the court in the second half. That was just kind of the vibe, and that's not a good look. And I think long term here, especially after that article was posted that Sam and Anthony did a great job on there, I think it's definitely something to watch out for. I would say right now I lean definitely more on the 60-40 side that Fox is gone this summer instead of staying, because you have to make a move here. But like you mentioned before, Allen, I personally agree with you on this. I don't think Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith, or even both those guys, is going to make the Kings a legitimate title contending team this year. It's going to be, can you sell De'Aaron Fox on, hey, let's keep a Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith around, add him to the core that we have, and you have all this. I
think we lost
that's going to
Evan.
be a massive thing.
I think we get.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you back. We got you back.
Perfect. I was just mentioning his contract situation as far as All-NBA. 5 years, $345 million if you were to make that. At this point, how the Kings are playing, that's looking unlikely. So Fox can still make up that money he might lose elsewhere if he doesn't make All-NBA. And that's what I would worry about if I'm Sacramento, is if he's getting impatient, which it seems like he is with Rich Paul visiting there, you have to really make a run here if you're Sacramento. Or this might be a thing where, with all the buzz now and all the NBA kind of circling around Sacramento at this point, the pressure's on, and the pressure's on in a huge way for Sacramento to make something happen here. And if De'Aaron Fox isn't moved, I have to imagine teams are already calling about De'Aaron Fox and inquiring. And that's just the way this league moves. If you hear anything, teams are going to start vulturing around, and that's exactly what's happening here.
Evan, they mentioned the Spurs in that article from Sam Amick and Anthony Slater, The Athletic. Any other teams, maybe not that you're necessarily hearing as far as sourced information, but any other teams? I was trying to cook up some names in my head. I think the problem with the Sixers and Tyrese Maxey is I'm very high on Tyrese Maxey, and they might think we don't need to move Tyrese Maxey for De'Aaron Fox. But any other teams that feel like they're a De'Aaron Fox away that we should keep an eye on?
Yeah, one team I was able to ask around about, and really the feel around the league is on this, is that Houston is a team to watch out here, another team, because he is from Houston. They have a lot of assets and flexibility thanks to the Phoenix Suns and Brooklyn Nets trades. They have a lot of good young pieces too. That's one I would certainly watch out for with San Antonio. And these are other ones I would just have non-intel on. These are just pure speculation. I would say Miami's one to watch out for, because if they want to tweak around the edges, if Jimmy Butler does leave, they have a lot of cap space now after Jimmy Butler leaves, and De'Aaron Fox would, I think, make a lot of sense there. Maybe you build a package around Tyler Hero and some draft picks that might intrigue Sacramento as far as a kind of a reset. I think that's a team to watch out for. Obviously, the Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox connection from Kentucky. Those guys are still very good friends to this day, so that might loom there. And then obviously you have to keep an eye on the two always aggressive teams in Star Talks. That's the Lakers, and at this point, the Phoenix Suns, because somehow, some way, even though no team really wants that Bradley Beal contract, the Suns are going to keep asking any team that wants it to take it on. And you might maybe see, if Bradley Beal's still in this roster, maybe the Suns circle around and say, hey, take our draft pick in 2031 and Bradley Beal for a guy that's probably going to be leaving anyways in De'Aaron Fox.
Talking to Evan Cidery, who covers the NBA for Forbes. Evan, just want to take a little bit of time here to talk about the luxury tax. So we have a lot of listeners that will say, and there have been some discussions on other podcasts just about Vivek Ranadive's thought process around the luxury tax and whether or not Monty McNair is being a bit handcuffed. We don't have to go into specifics, but what is your understanding of how most owners look at the luxury tax? Because the way I see it is, well, you're not going to go into the luxury tax to try to get to the second round. You're going into the luxury tax if you think the team can win the whole thing. Not to say that they will, but it's a little bit of chicken or the egg. If the team has been better, then maybe he'd be willing to do it, or some guys just aren't willing to do it at all. Well, what's your take on the luxury tax and how much freedom GMs are given from their owners?
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you're a team paying the luxury tax, especially a second apron team, like a team like Phoenix, for example, Matt Ishbia is all in on winning a championship every single year. That's what a team paying the luxury tax is. And you see that across the board for most contending teams. Is if you're going for a championship, at least internally you feel that way, you're going to be very comfortable saying, hey, pay that luxury tax. That's going to come back to us tenfold if we're a successful team in revenue. It all will come back in the meantime anyways. That's one thing to watch out for, I would say, with Sacramento. Are they a team that is willing to pay that luxury tax? And like you mentioned, I don't think Vivek has ever paid the luxury tax. And that's going to be a thing where you have to wonder if Sacramento will finally be like, hey, we need to give this core an actual chance to win and compete for a championship. And a move like a Cam Johnson, for example, that would push them over the luxury tax. That would be a move saying, hey, Cam Johnson is a contending title piece. He's worth that to take us over the top. That's kind of the feeling as far as going for the luxury tax. And a lot of teams avoid that because they're not a good team, or they just want the flexibility. That's the other part of the coin. I would say with Sacramento, you really don't have the flexibility anymore, especially with De'Aaron Fox kind of putting on the clock, so to say. I think it's time to push those chips in, like I mentioned in my story, and kind of see if you can go get a Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith. And if it doesn't work out in the end, if De'Aaron Fox asks out, you reassess everything this summer, and maybe you get your assets back tenfold, and maybe you pull it down in a different way.
Evan Cidery covers the NBA for Forbes. Evan, before we get you out of here so you can enjoy your holidays, even though I know you're going to be working just like me, we're giving away tickets, 76ers and Kings. That's on New Year's Day. My question to you is, for those lucky callers that win tickets, do you think they will be seeing the same roster on Wednesday, January 1st of 2025? I
unfortunately do. I think right now.
Wow. Okay.
I think that they are definitely calling around, but I think the Nets, the Nets are the team to watch out for here because they're the next domino to drop again, even though they already had the Dennis Schroeder move. Everyone's waiting on Cam Johnson. Everyone's waiting on Dorian Finney-Smith. One of those wings has to move, and the Nets have the market that they want. So they're kind of just playing tic-tac-toe here with teams and trying to just have a bidding war here. And I think this bidding war might drag out past the holiday. And I wouldn't imagine any far past that, though. That's a good deadline. I would say maybe mid-January would be the point. But I think for a team like Sacramento, you have to push that plug pretty soon. I would say within the next week or two. If things continue down this way, you have to also wonder, too, about Mike Brown. Even though he just signed an extension, is he a guy that's on the hot seat with this roster where even though Vivek just paid him his contract, if this continues down that road, that's definitely going to be talked about more.
Evan Cidery covers the NBA for Forbes. Be sure to follow Evan on social media. Check out all of his work for Forbes. Does great stuff. Evan, can't wait to have you back on. Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas, all that jazz. We'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Anytime. Merry Christmas, Allen. Thanks.
When we return, we will give away those tickets. Evan Cidery says he thinks that the roster will be the same. Well, you can find out and be there in person on the other side. We give away our third pair of Kings tickets. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
This year, American farmers will harvest 2.8 billion bushels of wheat and 15.1 billion bushels of corn. And to this day, American road workers have built 4.2 million miles of roads and counting. We're proud that John Deere machines rolling off the line here in the USA play a part in supporting Americans who work the land and build a better tomorrow. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/manufacturing.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest at your cabana side. Slade hot yoga, treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings, get that me time. Adults had a little extra today, you deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And when you want a little snack with your smoothie, pair our new Hawaiian barbecue slider with our new caramelized pineapple smoothie for a batch made in pineapple paradise. Limited time only.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Thanks again to Evan Cidery. Be sure to follow him on social media as we continue to break down. And don't do that in the Sack Chat. People are saying some crazy stuff in the Sack Chat, making me double check stuff, talking about people have been fired. Don't do that. It's December, not April. All right? April Fools, you can do whatever you want, but people are there's too many feelings going on right now. No, we don't got time for that. We don't have time for that. 916-339-1140. Call line and text line. Start your 2025 off with a bang at Golden One Center with the Kings. The Kings will play the Sixers, Grizzlies, and Heat to start off the new year. Join us for a thrilling New Year's Day matchup when the Kings host Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Secure your seats now at kings.com/tickets or call in right now, 916-339-1140. Looking for caller number 5. Caller number 5, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. Caller number 5 for your chance to win tickets on the first day of the new year, 2025. 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. Great stuff from Evan Cidery there as we continue to break down all of the possibilities and what could happen with De'Aaron Fox. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is the timeline and how everything changes based on De'Aaron Fox and Rich Paul stating that you're on the clock. Basically, you're on the clock to the Kings organization. And what does that do to the leverage? How does that change how other teams are looking? Hey, well, De'Aaron's going to ask out anyway. Because what's the difference between asking out and what De'Aaron just did, right? The only other side is maybe you still have a chance if you convince me to stay. Maybe. But I could still say no. I can still say it's not enough. So as far as I'm concerned, this thing is going to look completely different, maybe not on January 1st, but at some point, because I still don't think that Cam Johnson is enough. Not based on the team I just watched, and I like Cam Johnson. So they get you Cam Johnson tomorrow. Perfect scenario. Trey Lyles, Kevin Huerter, and maybe it's Devin Carter in a pick, according to Evan Cidery. They want 2 picks. So instead of doing 2 first, you just do Devin Carter. Or if they like Keon Ellis enough, you do Keon Ellis. I don't know if they do. I think Devin Carter probably just has more value based on where he was picked. So Devin Carter, a first-round pick, Kevin Huerter and Trey Lyles for Cam Johnson. And that honestly kind of feels like a lot, but you'd probably be okay with it because you'd have Cam Johnson even if De'Aaron leaves. So now your lineup, do you move DeMar DeRozan to the bench? Which a lot of people have had that conversation. So you're talking about De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, Cam Johnson, Keegan Murray, and either Malik Monk or DeMar. Maybe DeMar. And you go from there. Is that team better? I mean, so now you're just putting Malik Monk back on the bench. Okay. Now you don't have Trey Lyles. And look, I know we've gone back and forth about Trey Lyles, but your bench still is not good. I almost feel like you need 2 pieces from the Nets somehow, some way. Or you continue to start Malik and then you bring DeMar DeRozan off the bench, but it's still just DeMar. And now you don't have Kevin Huerter. And you either don't have Devin Carter or you don't have Keon Ellis. So I do not think Cam Johnson by himself is enough. Not based on what I've been seeing. A couple weeks ago I did, but not now. Not now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. And all that, and De'Aaron could still leave. He could still leave. Congrats. It looks like Kyle has found our winner. We have One more for the day, 1 o'clock hour. So in about 40 minutes, you will have one more chance in the 1 o'clock hour to win those tickets. Talking about the Sam Amick, Anthony Slater article. If you didn't see, De'Aaron Fox's agent was in town to talk to the Kings and hit them with that relationship status. What are we doing here? Are we going to get married? Are you going to move in? Or are we wasting each other's time? That was on Thursday. They've done nothing but lose since. Absolutely nothing but lose since. If you do break down the different options for the Kings, and look, we made fun of a lot of the conversations about DeMar DeRozan coming off the bench, and like I said, the same way it's rough right now. The same way we're wearing some of the takes that are not aging well. You're looking at DeMar DeRozan and this is from Evan Cidery, who just joined us, over the Kings' 4-game losing streak. DeMar DeRozan is only averaging 10.3 points while shooting 33.3%. I think he has to be injured in some capacity. That's me adding that in. DeRozan's fit alongside Fox and Sabonis has come more into question recently. Sacramento traded an unprotected 2032 pick swap to acquire DeRozan. Do you think about bringing him off the bench just for a change? Right? I mean, he's probably not too far from that part of his career. Maybe only a year away anyway. The one lineup we haven't seen, and I know it would be tough on defense, but everything is tough on defense. Do you go with Kevin Huerter, who's got a little bit more size, and Malik can spray the ball out to him? Do you go De'Aaron, Kevin Huerter, Malik, Keegan, and Sabonis? Do you try that? Because you can't keep doing the same thing. That's the main thing. And, we had a caller say, go back to Kevin Huerter and put Malik back on the bench. I don't want to do that either. I want to do something that the Kings have not tried yet. We know what doesn't work. Maybe this could. Bring DeMar off the bench, and then you have DeMar going up against a lot of the bench unit from other teams, younger guys. He'll be at the free throw line all dang day. Maybe he cooks that way. He's doing it against the Lakers. They're not moving. He's doing it against some of these guys who know better. In starting lineups, they're not doing nothing. So maybe that's a part of it. 916-339-1140. Pam called back. What's up, Pam? What you got for us?
I did. First of all, on Mike Brown, I can't even believe we're considering hiring another coach. I mean, really, the cavalcade of coaches. He's a competent coach. And then he gets criticized because he's changing this and changing that. Well, what's he supposed to do? Sit on it? I mean, the same way that it is. Secondly, it's pretty obvious what's the problem. And I can't even believe that we're in this position. We have our chance at a superstar. We've got him. Okay. And we don't put anybody, when we choose who comes onto our team, we're afraid of getting into the luxury tax. We can't be. We're little old Sacramento. We're going to have to spend a lot of money to get another piece. And we keep trying to do it without spending a lot of money. And then we add people to the roster. For example, I like DeRozan. He didn't like to shoot the three. We've been having problems shooting the three for how long now? Keegan can't shoot the three anymore. Hooter was never any good. He's not a reliable three-point shooter. And then we don't have any rebounding. We all know we need to help Sabonis on the boards. So what trade have we made to bring in somebody that could do that?
Yeah, thanks for the call, Pam. That's why I said it's going to take more than one. And that's why I said I don't know how De'Aaron Fox stays here. That's what I keep getting to. Everything Pam said as far as how they've been this season is pretty spot on. They can't shoot. They can't defend. They've been defending better. So you make one move, you get Cam Johnson. Is that enough? And I should ask it this way. Is that enough for De'Aaron Fox? Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what you think. Is getting Cam Johnson, and this season is close to cooked. I know Kyle has some numbers about team. We did this the last time the Kings were fighting 500. What was that, 10 games ago? We're going to see if anybody has come out of the dumpster like this. But if this season's already cooked, is De'Aaron going to say, okay, well, we missed out on the playoffs again, but we got Cam Johnson, and now I'm good to go because I think this team is now good enough? I don't know, which is the scariest thing, because De'Aaron, they did it on purpose. They did not give an exact answer, at least out loud. We don't know, right? We don't know what was talked about in the meeting, because maybe they didn't know. What are they going to say? Yeah, second round's good enough, whatever. It's just when you know, you know. Let's continue the conversation on the other side. Kyle has some of those numbers of teams coming back from where the Kings have been, and it might not be as optimistic as last time. We'll find out. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day. Can't rule out a stray shower. Highs today topping out around 62. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
It's your last chance for year-end event savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Don't miss what might be their lowest payments of the year. Hurry to Folsom Lake Kia right now and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Ready for winter? Forecasters are already predicting record sick days. Don't become a healthcare statistic. Fight sickness with fitness. Create a daily workout and stick to it. Let the Good Feet store help you meet your workout goals. With Good Feet arch supports, the pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back become history. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or just stop in. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Superer Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
You've heard the saying, penny wise, pound foolish, right? It means you do something that will save you a little bit right now, just pennies, but that ends up costing you pounds in the end.
People put off tuning up their furnace because they don't want to take the time or spend the money to get it done.
But it only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87, which is just pennies compared to the huge problems and expenses that can rack up if you don't get your furnace tuned up.
You'll also save money on your energy bills, and your system will last longer.
So don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Call Bell Brothers for a precision tune-up and professional cleaning today.
Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado now at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
You know, when it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer, and that's especially true when it comes to your garage door. And that's why I recommend National Garage Door, 638-4554. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. Whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE, that's broken spring experts. Styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of, and that's not good. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're getting a new garage door. We're pretty happy about that. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 638-4554, National Garage Door.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
One more chance to win tickets to see your Sacramento Kings January 1st. It's the 76ers. Won't be seeing Jared McCain, though. Jared McCain dealing with that knee, but he'll be back. He's still posting TikToks. So no Jared McCain, maybe Joel Embiid, maybe Tyrese Maxey, one of my favorite players in the league. And you can be there to kick off your 2025. So you'll have one more chance during the 1 o'clock hour. Kyle is going to walk us through the precedent for a team to come back, but he's dealing with a phone call right now. And as we wait for Kyle to join us, 530 says, if big markets have to go into the luxury tax to win, of course Sacramento has to. Why do small markets think they can do what big markets can't? It depends on what your goal is, right? If they got to a point where they were second round and it was, oh, we're so close, then sure. But I don't think if they went into the luxury tax starting the season, is Vegas looking at the Kings? And it depends on what they would have done, but there's so many rules. There's so many stipulations. It was never going to be, hey, we're fully going in. They had to see what it looked like with DeMar DeRozan by itself. It didn't look great, or it hasn't looked great. And now they have to make another move. Now we're trying to figure out what that move is going to be. The 916 says they do not use DeMar. DeMar is a player that plays a run for, and he gets 3 a game. We basically don't use him. That's on Brown. You change your style based on personnel. That's from Folsom Mike. I think there was a lot of DeMar to start the game, and they were losing games. And the best version of the Kings, I thought, was that little stint that they had where they were winning a couple, even though it wasn't against great competition, and even some of the close games that they had where DeMar was kind of that counterpunch. And I think that's what they'd been trying to do. The bigger issue is in those games, you had Kevin Huerter doing his thing and you had Malik Monk playing at a very high level. So DeMar wasn't as necessary. So you had those two things stop. And as those two things stopped, DeMar, because I do think they kind of went back to DeMar save us, whether it's injury or whatever the case is, DeMar has not been playing as well as he was to start the season. So I don't really think the issue, if I were to list all the issues the Kings have, not using DeMar enough would not be that high on my list, but it might be figuring out how to use DeMar the best way. And again, he's gotten opportunities these last couple games. He has not been good these last couple games. So that's where I'm at with that. Kyle, I'll go ahead.
No, I understand your point. It's just I don't know what the solution is in the short term right now. So I understand your point. It's just you don't really know exactly how to correct the DeMar DeRozan of it all. If it's an issue with DeMar DeRozan plays well when Fox is playing well, but when it becomes playing off ball, that's when he struggles. I don't know what the solution is to fix that. Moving him to the bench isn't the solution. Playing him with different rotations might be the solution, but I mean, we've been trying that for a few different games.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw it right back to you, Kyle. You have some comparisons for teams that have been in the dumpster. We're gonna try to be a little bit optimistic here. Some teams that have been in the dumpster and figured it out. And when I say figured it out, I think just made it to the playoffs. But Kyle, come on, make us feel better.
Well, so we did this exercise a few weeks ago, if you recall, and then we kind of went away. We talked about teams that had made a comeback, and this is when the injuries were really stacking up for the Kings at that point. So what I did is just went back to Basketball Reference has a great page where they have the standings every day in NBA history, basically, like where the standings were in each season. So I just went back to on December 23rd of X year.
Okay.
Who was the 12 seed? And last year, the 12 seed in the West was the Utah Jazz, sitting at 12 and 18. And that Jazz team finished 31-51, obviously a tanking team.
Not a great start here, Kyle.
Didn't get back into it, obviously. But they did have a worse record than the Kings by one game.
Okay.
So then we go to 2022. On December 23rd, 2022, the 12 seed was Oklahoma City. If I remember correctly, that was the year that they got to the play-in and lost to Minnesota. But the 13 seed at this point in 2022, that would be that Los Angeles Lakers team.
Come on now.
The famous Laker team who, guess what their record was? 13-18. What are the Sacramento Kings right now? 13-17.
Come on now, it's time.
And that Laker team made the Western Conference Finals, even though they had no business being there. That Laker team made it to the Western Conference Finals as a 7 seed after making massive trades at the trade deadline.
Let's do it.
So that one gives you hope, right?
That's right.
Next up, 2021. Who was the 12 seed in the West on December 23rd, 2021? It was the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings were the 12 seed in the West.
And didn't they miss the play-in?
Well, that was the year that they, a couple weeks later, traded Sabonis for Halliburton. They had some injuries that year, but yes, they ended up coming in at 30-52. Missed the playoffs and got the lottery pick that led to Keegan Murray. So not a great sign right there that the Kings before the Sabonis trade were the 12 seed and are now the 12 seed 3 years later after the Sabonis trade.
Yeah, funny enough. Go ahead.
No, there's one more team I grabbed because it gets wonky because of the pandemic years. It's weird, the next two. But if you go back to December 3rd, 2018, I think this is the best team to give you hope if you're the Sacramento Kings. At December 23rd, 2018, the 12 seed was the Utah Jazz. If you remember that year, it was Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Joe Ingles, Bogdanovich. I think Derek Favors was still there at that point. And that Jazz team was 16-18 at this point in the season. That Jazz team made 0 trades at the trade deadline, ran back the exact same roster, and went 50-32, got the 5 seed in the Western Conference. They got bounced in the first round after, I think, a 6 or 7 game series with Houston. But they turned it around without having to make a significant roster overhaul. I don't know what it was that they figured out, but the Jazz went from being 16-18 on December 23rd to the number 5 seed and a 50-win team in the Western Conference without trading a single player. So I guess that gives you hope that it can turn around, but as you can see, it's a pretty mixed bag of results.
Well, and the other thing, too, is this is not the 2018 Western Conference, just off the top of my head. I mean, that 2018, I know it was the Rockets and the Warriors kind of riding the charge.
If I remember correctly, this is the 2019 season. So the 18-19 season, it was 1 Golden State, 2 Denver.
The Blazers were somewhere there.
Blazers were 3 because they went to the Western Conference Finals. 4 was Houston. 5 was the Jazz. 6 would have been OKC because that was Dame waving bye-bye to Paul George. So, good teams, but not the depth of teams
Not
in the
this.
Western Conference that this is.
But, it happened. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Wow, that is something else, man. What I was going to say, and we'll get to more of it on the other side, is depending on how this thing ends, and again, it feels like it's just a tough day for Sacramento Kings fans who have battled against a lot of national basketball, NBA media. Does this change when you mentioned that season where the Kings traded for Sabonis and Halliburton as they get spanked by Halliburton and the Pacers last night, even though Halliburton didn't play particularly well? Does this change how that trade gets viewed? Let's talk about it on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco! Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The holiday driving season is here, and my good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an awesome holiday oil change special going on right now. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for up to 5 quarts of full synthetic motor oil with the online coupon. Go visit jiffylube.com right now, find a location near you, and get that $33 off full synthetic oil change coupon now. Most vehicles are covered, specialty vehicles and diesel are extra. You got to show the coupon for discount. See the store for details. Happy holidays from Jiffy Lube. What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, you got to tell me what's going on for the Wrap Up the Year sales event.
Wrap up our biggest savings of the year with up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram heavy duties. Plus, with over 400 new Rams available, including the hard-to-find heavy duties, your perfect truck is waiting at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
That's a huge selection of Rams, and that's why Hoblet's the top Ram dealer in California, Chad.
Not only do we have great deals on new Ram trucks, the Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. With over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Start select and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 tradesmen's after 10,500 factory rebates and 6,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 3,000 Hoblet inventory coupons while supplies last, 2,000 trade-in assistance on qualifying trades, 500 upfit, 2,000 California commercial business bonus cash, business ownership, and 500 upfit required. 5% net savings. Sample VIN 357313. See dealer for details.
With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app. Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
1 o'clock hour is around the corner. We're going to get into some NFL as well, some Niners as well. I was at Tom's Watch Bar yesterday, and it was a great turnout. I was with DJ 2 Raw. Met him for the first time. Great guy. He's doing his thing, DJing, keeping the party going at Tom's Watch Bar. The next one, by the way, I will be there on the 28th. Tom's Watch Bar. So come by. You get a chance to win tickets. You get a chance to win some prizes. So December 28th is the next one I'll be doing. So be sure to slide through and we will take care of you. Okay, maybe you could take care of me. You know what I mean? Slide me something, I'll hook you up. All right, as we continue the conversation, and what we were discussing on the other side was how this could alter the DeMontis Sabonis trade and how that is perceived. We already know a lot of people thought that, and I don't necessarily know the overarching feeling, is the overarching feeling that the Kings should have kept Tyrese Halliburton and moved De'Aaron Fox? Is the overarching feeling that they just shouldn't have made a trade and see what De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton look like together? But with that being said, you had a lot of people saying, hey, it was a win-win for both teams. Can you still say that if this thing implodes? If De'Aaron Fox asks, even to this point, De'Aaron Fox sitting there and having Rich Paul say, hey, we're not requesting a trade, but if we don't figure things out, it's around the corner. Can we still look at the DeMontis Sabonis trade the same way? I don't know. What I do know is that I don't think a lot of other people will. If De'Aaron Fox gets moved within the next 1 to 2 years, a lot of people will call the DeMontis Sabonis trade a failure. I don't know if that's true or not, because I would say what's interesting is talent for talent. DeMontis Sabonis compared to Tyrese Halliburton, and I know they got Buddy Hield too, not trying to disrespect Buddy Hield. But talent to talent, we know Tyrese Halliburton and his ceiling, but what DeMontis Sabonis is doing right now, you traded for a guy who was 7th on the MVP ladder last season. He was 3rd-team All-NBA, as was Tyrese Halliburton. But night in, night out, from a production standpoint, I don't think the Kings lost. But the fact that this thing, from a team aspect, might not work out, maybe you could argue they traded the wrong point guard. I don't know. Who knows? What I do know is that you do have people that said that they believe it wasn't the Kings who necessarily protected De'Aaron Fox. There are people that think that it was more of a, hey, which one do you want? And the Pacers said, well, he's on a cheaper deal, he's on the rookie deal. We like Tyrese Halliburton more. Or because of those things, we will go with Tyrese Halliburton. There are people that believe that's how it went down. And then there's obviously people that believe that the Kings said, here's our package to you. A lot of this stuff will come out down the line. But if it was that Sacramento Kings said, hey, just take who you want. We're good with either one. I think that makes things look a little bit better versus kind of the choosing. Ultimately, I do think Sabonis as a player is as valuable as Tyrese Halliburton right now. We'll see if Tyrese Halliburton continues to elevate his game and take it to the next level. So it will be viewed as a loss for the Kings as far as the trade is concerned, even though I don't know that it should be. It's going to be looked at as a loss because of what happened with the team, and it's not. And it pound for pound, player for player, I don't think it was. I think they got just as a productive player as they moved off of. It just they thought that we already had somebody doing Tyrese Halliburton type things, so we don't need two Tyrese Halliburton type players, even though, De'Aaron shoots a lot more than Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, that whole trade was so unique in hindsight. It was like I know Buddy Hield was in there and Jeremy Lamb and everything, but it was kind of like a one-for-one swap to kind of match timelines in a way. And I'm not saying the Pacers are on a perfect timeline right now with Siakam and Halliburton, but it was like Sabonis and Miles Turner weren't going to be the 1-2 options forever for Indiana. So it's just a really unique trade in hindsight. I don't think we've seen one quite like it in the NBA since, where it was a player everyone acknowledges is going to be very good being traded more so for the fit than it was for matching the timelines.
Right. So that is how you can view it in as far as the Sabonis piece. But I'm waiting, Kyle, and I'm sitting here just refreshing, and I'm starting to feel like nothing is going to happen. And now we're going to have Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I don't know if anything is going to happen. After talking to Evan Cidery, and you can check that out on our YouTube and the Sacktown Sports app, now I feel like I was I reacted a little bit yesterday. I guess I could say that about the whole weekend, but I reacted a little bit yesterday, and now as we get to the reality of things, it looks like the Kings probably won't be making a huge move within the next week.
Which is what I was, not telling people, but kind of trying to adjust expectations for, going back to people saying, we have to make a trade now. And it's like, well, one, they can't trade everybody until December 15th. Two, they're at the behest of the other teams because it's beneficial to make a trade closer to the deadline if you feel like you're going to have more of a bidding war at that point. And maybe you don't because teams fall off and they decide they're not going to be as much of buyers as they once thought they were going to be. But in the case of Cam Johnson, I mean, Evan Cidery had the tweet over the weekend that's like 10 teams have called or checked in on Cam Johnson. Right. So it's like the Nets can wait as long as they want with Cam Johnson. They are going to have a market no matter what before the deadline. It's with some of these other pieces that it's like, the Kings feel like they have to make a move now, but the market says you can't make a move now.
Unless you want to ridiculously overpay, which the Kings don't want to do.
Which would be a desperation move.
Yes.
Are the Kings that desperate? Depends on who you ask.
And if they don't think, and here's the other thing, what if they don't think that conversation went well? What if they feel like, all right, we spoke with De'Aaron. We went out. We dropped the next 3 games. Are we going to make a desperation move for a guy that we think is probably out the door anyway? I wouldn't. So could the silence mean that and again, it's only been it hasn't even been a 24 hours since the Kings' last game, but the silence as we move forward could mean that, no, we're not going to make a desperation move because we kind of feel like De'Aaron's on the way out anyway.
Going back to the point I just said about Evan's tweet. So here's the teams that have inquired on Cam Johnson. It's the Cavaliers, the Kings, the Grizzlies, the Lakers, the Magic, the Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Warriors. Of those 10 teams,
they're all better than the Kings.
Well, not only are they all better than the Kings, how many of them do you feel like are going to change their mind in the next 6 weeks? Like, we actually don't think that we're in the market for Cam Johnson, right? Maybe the Warriors decide Cam Johnson's not the guy who's going to take us over the top. Maybe the Rockets decide we'd rather save these pieces for a big trade.
Yeah, the Rockets, that doesn't make any, because that Rockets don't make any sense. Go through them again, and I'll tell you right now.
So after the Kings, we have Cavaliers.
I guess it makes sense to them. They already have their stars and want to keep playing well defensively. Sure,
They got a super deep bench too.
Yeah,
they can draw
right.
from.
So I don't really know. Again, it's once this gets to overpay, it's a bidding war, right? So once it gets to a bid, the Cavs saying we're top 3 in the East, we don't need that.
Okay, so then we have Grizzlies.
Yes, the Grizzlies. Yes,
Lakers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Orlando.
Orlando doesn't know what they want, so yes.
Just say Orlando's going to still be in the market
Yes,
6
yes.
weeks from now. Okay, Mavericks.
Yes.
Yes. Nuggets.
Yes.
Thunder.
No.
No, you just think they're just checking in to say hi?
Yeah, and hey, just to let y'all know, we could get him if we wanted him.
Yeah.
But I don't think they need that.
So then Rockets and Warriors. We said
no.
no to those earlier, right?
Yeah, I think the Warriors need something bigger. So I count 6 teams.
Yeah, because they already had the chance to trade for Cam Johnson and they wouldn't give up Kuminga, right?
So I say 6.
So yeah, you're looking at 6 teams that 6 weeks from now would still be interested. I mean, maybe it behooves Brooklyn to just say, we're just going to wait until the deadline. And once it gets close to the deadline, your offers will go up or someone's offer will go up. Maybe it's from the Kings, maybe it's from someone else. And even if the Kings get him, even if the Kings win that bidding war and get Cam Johnson or whatever it is, it might not happen next week. And that's kind of the adjusting of expectations.
We are headed into the last hour of the show. How are you feeling about your Sacramento Kings? How'd you feel last night? Let's open back up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. We discuss De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan. Should something be done? If it's not going to happen as far as a trade is concerned, should something be done about the starting lineup? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing layoffs on the line. Golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up. It's golf.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-770-2727. 800-770-2727.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Seasons change, but if you hope to stay healthy, your body needs to stay active year-round, whether that's in the gym or on the trail or at work, and that's where the Good Feet store can help. Good Feet's personalized arch support system supports all 4 arches, relieving pain in your feet, knees, hips, and back. And Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Visit goodfeet.com for an appointment or stop in for a free fitting. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Ho, 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 ho. Looks like you made the ice list this year.
Santa, don't you mean the nice list?
No, ice, because Prestigio Jewelers carries all the ice you need.
For over 30 years, Prestigio Jewelers has offered in-house financing and fine jewelry. Guaranteed credit approval between $400 and $10,000 with no money down options. Make this Christmas season unforgettable. The perfect jewelry, the perfect price, helping you build perfect credit. With locations in Sacramento, Stockton, Merced, and Fresno, or online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call.
If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
It's the final days of the holiday everyone loves, Toyota-thon at your Toyota dealer. Celebrate in style with offers like $2,000 cash back on the powerful Tundra. Or get a low-cost lease on the legendary Tacoma after incredible $1,000 lease cash. Drive into the new year with a new truck from Toyota. These are the deals you've been waiting for. But hurry, Toyota-thon ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Ends 1/6/25.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by Malik.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
You know, they've been playing this. This goes back to Stiles and Watkins days, but they've been playing this with Malik Monk dunks. It just got me thinking. There was a conversation about what if the Kings said, hey, let's see how Malik Monk looks. Does it look like Malik can be that starting point guard for us if we wanted to move off of De'Aaron Fox? Now, I don't think Malik Monk is as good as De'Aaron Fox, but it also depends what you got back to surround the team, surround Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis with talent. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm saying a lot of conversations are being had. Shams had this to say. This happened a couple hours ago as the Magic, one of those teams that is supposed to be moving towards something really big, but they can't stay healthy. Paolo Banchero and the really tough injury he's been dealing with all season long. He hasn't played in a very long time. Shams, Orlando Magic forward Mo Wagner, has suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. Sources told ESPN Wagner averaged 12.9 points and 4.9 rebounds in 18.8 minutes as a strong candidate for Sixth Man of the Year, ranking second in the NBA in total points off the bench. So the Magic just can't catch a break. They're going to be really good, but they have to stay healthy. And they have not been able to stay healthy so far. And it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better losing Mo Wagner for the rest of the season. So does that change the Magic and what they think they need? Are they going to give up a couple firsts for Cam Johnson for next year? I don't know. Do they remain a part of these Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, we're one piece away conversation? So that's the other part of this we haven't really talked about, just the injuries and how that can alter a lot of different things. As the conversation about the Kings and DeAndre DeRozan continues on, I'm looking here, Kyle. I have a list of the same top 25 under 25 that we talked about a couple weeks ago. And when people are talking about, and I don't even know if, I'm trying to remember, I know people liked Shea, but if Shea was even on these lists when he was on the Clippers, or was he just kind of out of nowhere? I feel like maybe he was.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
I forgot because in the bubble, Avery Bradley was starting over Shea, and this was his second year in the league. So I kind of forgot just how, or I'm sorry, not in the bubble, in the whatever year it was that the Clippers made the playoffs, and it was Lou Williams and Patrick Beverley and all those guys like that. So yeah, I don't remember how or why it came to be that Shea was traded. And, you know, Doc Rivers had the quote years later where he was like, I kind of told them, are you sure you want to trade Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Kind of doing the LeBron thing.
Right.
But, I mean, he was the 12th pick in the draft. He wasn't, you know, projected to be this great star. I mean, he was a backup to start his career with the Clippers. He was kind of getting swapped in and out of the starting rotation. So I guess they knew he was that guy, but when he was on the Clippers, as a 19, 20-year-old, because he spent 2 years on the Clippers, I don't know if he was ever on those lists or not.
So if we go through this list and we're looking at guys who, if you're going to move De'Aaron Fox, or if you feel like you have to move De'Aaron Fox, and we're about to get into the starting lineup changes and what the Kings could do internally. But if this De'Aaron Fox thing continues to go left, here are some of the names. We can start at the top to make it easier, because you have Victor Wembanyama. Okay, he's not going anywhere. Anthony Edwards, no. Paolo, no. Franz, no. Chet, no. Tyrese, no. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey.
Okay, let's just say I'll stop you when we get to a player who's not as good as De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, well, sure. Evan Mobley, no. Jalen Williams, no.
Okay, that's probably the tipping point right there.
Would the Thunder move Jalen Williams to get De'Aaron Fox?
No, but I'm saying that if money and years wasn't involved in the deal, I'd say Fox for Jalen Williams would be a pretty equal trade for both sides.
And you got SGA, so how much do you really need De'Aaron? I think their team works better with Jalen.
Yes, I'm just saying that any of the 9 players we just listed before Jalen Williams, there's no the Kings.
It ain't happening.
Yeah, it's not happening unless the Kings are attaching additional resources to get that player.
And this is why this team has been mentioned. So you have Şengün at 10, he's obviously on the Houston Rockets, and you have Amen Thompson as well. Right, so you have a couple of these guys. Scotty Barnes at 11. I can't see the Raptors doing that. LaMelo ain't going nowhere. Cade's not going nowhere. I don't see the fit between Donovan Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox. So Darius Garland at 14, that doesn't make sense to me. Brandon Miller, Hornets aren't doing it. Zion Williamson, the Kings aren't doing it, I don't think. Jalen Johnson, I don't like De'Aaron and Trae Young together. Jalen Suggs, I mean, you're getting warmer. 209 on the text line saying Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, and KCP and a future first for Fox, Herter, and Lyles. Who says no? Yeah, the Magic say no to that. It's a little too much, 209.
I was just going to say it's a losing proposition for both sides.
Yeah, that's a little too much, 209. Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, and KCP, they probably say that's plenty.
Anyways, back to the list.
You have Derek Lively on the Mavs. I don't think that they need a De'Aaron Fox type. They got Kyrie. Jalen Green is interesting. Do the Kings think that Jalen Green is enough? If it's Thompson, Green, or Green and Şengün, but how much are the Rockets willing to give up? How much are the Rockets willing to give up? Tyler Hero at 21. Like I said, I'm in Thompson at 22. Dyson Daniels at 23. Tari Eason at 24. I think that's interesting. And then Bilal Coulibaly at 25. I know that I think it's Edward that always calls in and says the Wizards. I just don't know why the Wizards would want De'Aaron Fox. They just want to start fresh. So I don't see that. But Tari Eason, Jalen Green.
I think you could get Tari Eason just as a regular trade. It doesn't have to be a blow it up package deal.
I'm saying from the Rockets wanting De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, I was just yeah, I guess if you were to package it, those would be the guys. If, as Evan said, the Rockets are nibbling around the edges. And again, this is an off-season thing. This isn't a right now thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just think as a deadline move, I think Tari Eason is obtainable. I mean, he's not getting a ton of minutes on that Rocket team.
So those are some of the options here. As far as the starting lineup is concerned, the only thing I can think of right now is DeMar DeRozan. The only thing I can think of right now is you put back in Kevin Huerter and just go full on offense. And that's no disrespect to DeMar DeRozan, but it's the one thing we haven't seen. I don't even know if Jay Crowder is still on the team. Is he in Sacramento right now? I haven't seen the guy in 3 weeks. And that's really the only realistic change that I think could ignite the team, if anything at all. Based on what the roster is, I really don't know what else you could do. Somebody, I think it was Ashley on the call line, said to go back to Kevin Huerter, to bring Malik Monk off the bench again. That's whatever to me. I'll put it to you like this. It's either Keegan or DeRozan who's next to come off the bench, and you just can't afford to sit Keegan because of the defense. That's how I see it. And there is a world offensively where you could bench Keegan, but defensively you cannot. And it has turned out that DeMar DeRozan is worse than Harrison Barnes on defense. And I think we knew that Harrison Barnes was a better defender. But when you have DeMar DeRozan, I love my baseball analogies, who's pretty close to a designated hitter when it comes to the lack of defense. So if your designated hitter is not hitting, that's not really going to help. It's almost like Doug McDermott in a way. Now we're hoping that DeMar DeRozan picks it back up, but these numbers have just been not good. And if he needs to sit, just sit. If you're injured, this is not helping, because you're still because Mike Brown will play you as if you are healthy if you report as healthy. And I don't know what is missing right now, but something seems to be missing. And that is my last ditch effort. And again, the only time I've really gone at Mike Brown is when it comes to just doing the same thing when we know it's not working. It's not working. So how can you change it up and maybe that'll force Monty's hand. Oh man, he's got DeMar coming off the bench. What are we doing? I don't know. But they can't keep doing this.
But It's also been tough at times because when the offense is flowing, they kind of box him into the Harrison Barnes role a little bit, where he does kind of sit in the corner. And so I understand it's also tough on DeRozan to be in that situation.
Yeah, the Lakers they just said, hey, we're going to crowd the paint. You guys aren't going to be as free-flowing, and we know you can't shoot right now, so you're not going to be able to run anything with DeRozan. There was a time somebody on the text line was saying they don't run enough plays for DeRozan. They were running that baseline during the winning streak. They were running that kind of baseline free throw line, DeMar DeRozan cut, and then he makes a decision. He either shoots it or passes it. Again, I think that was working against bad teams.
But it was also working to the tune of like 9 baskets in a row, so they just kept running back to it, and that's unreasonable to expect of any player, right? For him to hit it. I know DeMar DeRozan is a mid-range assassin, and he just hits these shots that you don't even expect, but even he shoots 52% from the 2-point range. It's like it's hard to expect him to hit it 9 times in a row and just keep going back to that well. It's just unreasonable to expect that.
And again, you're doing it against teams that are younger teams, inexperienced teams, and then you face the Nuggets. They're not going to let that happen. Lakers, they're not going to let that happen. And I don't know what happened last night against the Pacers. Rob, we see you. We'll get to you on the other side. We continue the Kings conversation. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze Car Vent Clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze Car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Allen Stiles. Sacktown Sports taking up to 2 p.m. Couple more segments with ya. Then I will be out, obviously, tomorrow, Wednesday. I will be back on Thursday. And then I'll be gone again on Friday. I'll be back on Thursday to help get you to Kings and Pistons. And then I will be taking a longer weekend. I'll be taking that Friday off. And then next week, I'll be in on that Monday. We're about to give away these Kings tickets, 916-339-1140. That is not saying we're going to do it right now, but it is coming up soon, so you don't want to miss it. Your last chance to win those tickets. Let's get to Rob from Elk Grove, wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Rob? What you got for us?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'd rather see Mike Brown leave rather than De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
And I think the replacement coach, finding him wouldn't be so difficult. I think he's right under our noses. And by that, I mean, take a look at Doug Christie. He's similarly defensive-minded. He's familiar with the players. He's familiar with the systems. And I think he would be well accepted by the city. And you don't have to pay him as much as you've been paying Mike Brown, who to me is a farce. He's an overrated blowhard.
Thanks for the call, Rob. Go ahead.
Okay. But I think that could help to solve the problem, but this can't continue what we've been seeing.
I do agree with that. Thanks for the call, Rob. Well, again, I will say that we keep doing this blame pie. Rob says he would rather see Mike Brown go than De'Aaron. Here's the scary part. Mike Brown going might also help aid De'Aaron's departure based on the article, right? So you're going to fire Mike Brown, and I know that's not what Rob was specifically saying, but you move off of Mike Brown. This season is maybe it's not a wash, right? Didn't the Cavs do that with David Blatt and Ty Lue? That was during the season, or was that after the first season?
No, that was in the middle of the second season, and they went on to win the championship after doing that.
So there you go.
Yeah, but name a second example.
So there you go. You got your one. David Blatt, Ty Lue, they won a championship. But in all seriousness, if you move off of Mike Brown and then you bring in a new coach, and it could be Doug Christie, and I think Doug Christie would be well received. But that's all happening, and you're trying to sell to De'Aaron that you are going to compete at a high level, compete for championships. That is unless De'Aaron is okay with this. If De'Aaron is on board with this, that's a part of that.
Or
which we don't know.
It's going to get better.
But I would say that would be that would be connected, right? if De'Aaron, and does it all have to happen this season? Let's say that Mike Brown has lost the locker room. Hey, it just didn't end up working out. We got to move forward. Let's say that the Kings now are in a situation where this season is cooked. They go out, they get Cam Johnson. They don't lose Keegan. They don't lose anybody besides Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and call it Devin Carter and a pick. And if you're curious why I am saying that specific deal, that is something similar to what Evan Cidery said that the Nets might want. So let's say they do that. They get Doug Christie, and Monty McNair says, look, we went out, we got Cam Johnson, we were the 10 seed, and we got bounced again. But De'Aaron, we got a new coach in, we got Cam Johnson, Keegan's going to be year 4. We're going to continue to, if we hold on to Keegan, we're prepared to continue to make moves, De'Aaron. You can sign the most money with us. What do you say? Maybe that's enough. I don't know. That, again, we keep going back to how broad everything has been with De'Aaron. Because to that point, going back to the starting lineup for Cam Johnson, then I think year 2, now DeRozan's 36, it is not disrespectful at all to have DeMar DeRozan coming off the bench as 36 years old, and you have Cam Johnson in your starting lineup. And if you want to keep Malik Monk in there because he's been balling, you do that.
Yeah, I guess I understand that. I guess the broadness of the terms of what is required for him to sign the extension makes me feel like people shouldn't be jumping to the conclusion that he is definitively going to leave, right? Because it's such a broad term, that doesn't necessarily mean he's more likely to leave. I think the panic or the feelings like everything is falling apart stems from the record this year and the little bit that we have to work with of him consistently saying, I want to win at the highest level, and I don't want to sign my contract extension until I see the organization is put in a position to compete for championships in the long run. And I feel like that's just a broad enough point that it's like, yeah, things might be going poorly right now, but that's not a precursor to say that they're definitively failing him or definitively not meeting the requirements for him to sign that extension, because we don't know specifically what he would. And maybe he doesn't either. Maybe this is a feel kind of thing. Maybe it's not like if they win 45 games, I'll re-sign, but if they win 40 games, I won't. I think it's probably more of a feel it out kind of thing.
No, that's a great point. The same way I've been looking at this, I guess you could say pessimistically, in that it's so broad, that means he can leave whenever he wants because there's nothing specific. The other thing you could say is it's so broad, that means he could stay because we don't know what exactly. It's just a thing that when I know, I know.
And it kind of means nothing at this point, right? Because think about it back with Damian Lillard, right? When Damian Lillard was getting ready to leave Portland, Damian Lillard said he was staying in Portland, went through the draft where they got Scoot Henderson and said, I'm staying in Portland, got to free agency and they re-signed Jeremy Grant for $160 million and did not a whole lot else. And then he finally said, okay, we can go, we can do this breakup thing now, right? So it took a bunch of steps along the way before Damian Lillard finally said, hey, I don't want to sign an extension. By the way, let's just finally do the breakup, right? So it'll get to that point with Fox as well. It'll be, what's the dollar value I can sign with? What did we do with the draft picks? What did we do in the offseason? Then we're going to make the decision on the extension. And we're still like 7 months away from that. So I feel like there's still so much that can change and so much to be done that the broadness probably doesn't signal one way or another whether or not he's going to stay or going to leave, right? It's just that the Kings are bad this season.
All right. We got more Kings coming up, but look, I'm wearing black. I didn't even realize this. I'm wearing black and silver. We have got to talk about the Raiders raidering in only a way they can, and I also want to spend some time to talk about Ricky Henderson. Couple more segments with you. We will be joined by Whitey Gleason as well. And 1:30, your chance. Kings tickets, one more go at it. Coming up in about 4 minutes. Don't miss it on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day. Can't rule out a stray shower. Highs today topping out around 62. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on Detroit. It's the final regular season home game presented by SAP. Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more superer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Superer Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at hagenoaks.com.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Every rose has its thorn.
Get ready for rock legend Bret Michaels, bringing his unforgettable show to the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno on December 28th. Experience all the hits, all the energy with the iconic voice of Bret Michaels. And here's the ultimate rock star bonus, a chance to win a signed guitar from Bret himself, exclusively at the show. Don't miss your chance to rock out and create memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. December 28th, Bret Michaels at the Nugget Reno, where rock and roll dreams come true.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for the wrap-up the year sales events?
Well, you have a choice to make. Save up to $17,000 off MSRP on all remaining new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs, or save thousands with 0% financing for 72 months. It's savings your way at Hoblet, not to mention all the savings at the pump with 56 MPGE.
Ooh, those are really nice Jeeps. You can't beat that mileage.
The Hoblet family dealers is growing with a huge selection of used cars at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, with over 220 vehicles available and over 45 under 20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE models after $12,250 factory and federal rebates and $4,750 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders, $3,750 federal EV tax credit. Consult a tax professional for details. 0% for 72 months available in place of $7,500 consumer cash. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 5 of the set saving. Sample VIN 681180. See dealer for details.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
.1140 start 2025 with a bang at Golden One Center with the Kings. The Kings will play the Sixers, Grizzlies, and Heat to start off the new year. Join us for a thrilling New Year's Day matchup when the Kings host Joel Embiid and the 76ers. Secure your seats now at kings.com/tickets or be lucky caller number. Kyle, do the last one.
7.
Caller number 7, 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. Caller number 7, your pair of Kings tickets on New Year's Day. What a way to bring in the new year against the 76ers. 916-339-1140. The best way to bring in the new year. All right, let's get to this tough loss that we all had to go through over the weekend, and things came out a little bit sooner than that. And after they came out sooner than that, it got fully released, and Ricky Henderson has passed away. Ricky Henderson played for 9 teams in a 25-year career that included the 1990 AL MVP award, 10 All-Star selections, 2 World Series titles, 3 Silver Slugger awards, and 1 Gold Glove award. And the 1989 ALCS MVP, he won a World Series with the Oakland A's. He won a World Series with the Blue Jays. And Ricky Henderson, as a leadoff guy, specifically myself, it was just watching him was everything that I wanted to be, from not just stealing the bases, and we know he is the king of stolen bases, but not just from the stolen bases, it was also the power. You know, I think for so long it was just all about, hey, these leadoff hitters just get on base and somebody will knock you in. Ricky would say, no, I'm gonna knock in myself, and I can do it myself. So Ricky Henderson, just a guy who really was Oakland to a T. And the A's, with everything that's going on with them, and with them now being in Sacramento, I think it is a bit almost eerie, if you will, for Ricky Henderson to go, as the A's have now gone from Sacramento. But, you know, he has just been everything that you could want from an ambassador for the game. This is from Martin Gallegos, who covers the A's for MLB.com. And he's been on the show a couple times. I love the work that Martin does. Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson, considered the greatest leadoff hitter in history and MLB's all-time leader in stolen bases, leadoff home runs, and runs scored, has passed away. He was 65. For multiple generations, for baseball fans, Ricky Henderson was the gold standard of base stealing and leadoff hitting, Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement. Ricky was one of the most accomplished and beloved athletics of all time. He also made an impact with many other clubs during a quarter-century career like no other. He epitomized speed, power, and entertainment in setting the tone at the top of the lineup. When we considered new rules for the game in recent years, we had the era of Ricky Henderson in mind. Ricky earned universal respect, admiration, and awe from sports fans. On behalf of Major League Baseball, I send my deepest condolences to Ricky's family, his friends, and former teammates, as fans and baseball fans everywhere. And that's one thing that didn't get talked about a lot, as far as one of the lesser known rules when it comes to baseball, the stolen bases. And you look at Shohei's bases that he stole, and you look at Ronald Acuna Jr. and a lot of these guys that have been doing it at a high level these last couple of years. And we got to keep in mind here that the rules did change. I mean, the amount of times that a pitcher can pick off, you essentially know when they have to go to the plate. So I'm not taking anything away from what these guys have done, but it's more so about look at what Ricky did, and there were no rules like that. So Ricky Henderson, what he did for the game, what he did while he was playing the game was just second to none. And again, it just made you want to be a specific type of player. And he had two things that you can't teach. I mean, the power that you see these days, we see that more than maybe we'd hope, because everybody's just swinging for the fences. But the speed aspect of it and being that combination, that was something that you just didn't see too often. It was, hey, you're either a leadoff guy and you don't really hit for power, but you have speed, or hey, you're a power guy and you don't really have speed. And Ricky said, I got both. So that is something that is going to really 2024 is not giving us a break at all. 209 says Ricky Henderson was so entertaining. He was my favorite player, period. His 1,406 stolen bases are 467 more than Lou Brock swiped, and his 2,295 runs scored are 50 more than Ty Cobb's total. At the time of his death, Ricky Henderson also ranked in the top 10 in games played. He's fourth. Plate appearances, fourth. Walks, second. Leadoff home runs, first. And unintentional walks, he is first. For his career, he batted .279 with 3,055 hits, 510 doubles, 66 triples, 297 home runs, 1,115 RBIs. He posted a career .820 OPS and 127 OPS plus. Great stuff from Martin Gallegos, and we will very, very, very much miss Ricky Henderson. Kyle, I know you wanted to say some things about Ricky Henderson and some of the things that you read about him as you just got off the phone with the callers. We have a winner, folks.
Yes,
we
Lance.
have a winner.
Lance is our lucky winner.
There you go, Lance. Shout out to Lance. Kyle, I know you wanted to say some things about Ricky.
So I obviously didn't grow up in this area. I'm from San Diego. I've gotten a chance to be around the Oakland A's the last few years by proxy of working their games and everything around here. I didn't realize this until I read the Howard Bryant story for ESPN, and Howard Bryant wrote a great book on Ricky Henderson also. I hadn't realized, so he was originally born in Chicago and then moved to, I can't remember if it was Alabama or Mississippi, somewhere in the South, and then was part of the second Great Migration in the 60s to Oakland. And the year that he landed in Oakland was, I believe he was 10 or 11 years old, and it was the second year of the Athletics in Oakland. Like, they had just finished their first season in Oakland after moving from Kansas City.
Right.
And I just can't believe the dichotomy of Ricky Henderson as a child arrives in Oakland around the same time as the Athletics. And then at the end of his life, the stadium is named, or the field is named after him in Oakland. The A's move out of Oakland just months before he passes away. Like, the Oakland Athletics not being in Oakland anymore is going to be really sad, because that community had the team taken away from them, but literally they were in Oakland for a lifetime. And Ricky Henderson literally is the Oakland Athletics, was a child in Oakland when the team first arrives, ends up being the player who they named the field after in his lifetime, Hall of Fame baseball player, and then passes away just months after the team leaves Oakland. It's really incredible when you think of that dichotomy, that the Oakland A's are such a unique time in history, and for all their history, Ricky Henderson was there for literally all of it in Oakland. So I just thought that was an incredible story, and it's really, it's not necessarily cathartic that that's the way that his life ended up having to end, but it's just so unique that one player could represent one city and one franchise in such a way especially because the A's aren't going to be in Oakland anymore, and Ricky Henderson isn't going to be around for that history to be celebrated as the most important player in the history of that franchise. It's another tragedy lumped on top of a really tragic year for Oakland as a community and for the Oakland A's at large. I thought that story was incredible, that his life literally was the Oakland A's. Ricky Henderson is his life was the embodiment of the Oakland A's franchise history.
Yeah, and he will be remembered, I'm sure, by A's fans and baseball fans everywhere forever, because he was one of one. All right. Well, speaking of Oakland, another team that used to reside in Oakland, the Raiders, decided to get in their own way. But what else were they supposed to do? Kyle and I have some fun to end the show with the Raiders deciding to Raider. A little bit of Kings talk before we get you out of here. No cross talk today. Drive guys. They are enjoying their vacation as they should. But we got 15 more minutes with you. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 30th for Monday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers face the Detroit Lions.
20, one block and he's in.
It's the final regular season home game of the campaign and presented by SAP.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
The holiday driving season is here, and my good friends over at Jiffy Lube have an awesome holiday oil change special going on right now. Get a full synthetic oil change starting at just $76.99 with a $33 off coupon online. That's right, starting at just $76.99 for up to 5 quarts of full synthetic motor oil with the online coupon. Go visit jiffylube.com right now, find a location near you, and get that $33 off full synthetic oil change coupon now. Most vehicles are covered, specialty vehicles and diesel are extra. You got to show the coupon for discount. See the store for details. Happy holidays from Jiffy Lube.
Rock the Bells presents LL Cool J.
So bet you got Chanel on your feet. Hot sex on a platter makes the mission complete.
Live in concert. LL Cool J. Saturday, January 18th. The venue at Thunder Valley with DJ Z-Trip. LL Cool J. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss LL Cool J live.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back, January 16th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Just once a year, NorCal's largest gathering for anglers, hunters, boaters, RVers, and off-roading enthusiasts. Buy the latest gear, discover the best destinations, and check out the all-new, fully redesigned Toyota Land Cruiser. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 16th through 19th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices.
That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Maida Chevy sends you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebate.
Year-end savings on now with $8,000 off new Silverados at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
All right. We've talked so much about the Kings. It's time to switch over to the black and silver. We talked about Ricky Henderson, RIP, but we couldn't give the Raiders a break here. And Kyle, just to start, we'll start in order here. So Raiders were, I believe, in the number 2 position to get that pick, right? Assuming who knows what the New York Giants are going to do. They've moved off of Daniel Jones. They're probably going to take a quarterback. My guess, and I got to be real careful here, my guess is that the Giants find somebody that they like more than Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. It just feels like that's what they're going to do.
Travis Hunter?
If they go quarterback, I don't know if it'll be Cam Ward
Oh,
or Shedeur
you're
Sanders.
saying that they do like a Carson Beck or something weird like that.
They've done it before, and obviously that didn't work out with Daniel Jones, and they didn't really get burned there because that draft class I just don't think was very, very good.
Dwayne Haskins was picked right after. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I don't think anyone else.
There wasn't a clear. If this is last season, really, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. Yeah. Oh man, they completely. Why did they do that?
It was a 1 quarterback draft class, and that was Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray went first overall.
There you go.
The thing that was weird was Daniel Jones getting picked 6 because most people were like, they could have waited until, I think they had the 19 pick, and he's like, they could have waited until 19 and still gotten Daniel Jones, but they took him at 6.
So the Raiders, they'd been doing what they were supposed to do these last couple weeks, losing. Now, the Jags are pretty bad, and I don't know how you force a loss onto anyone, but the Raiders go on to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. They actually tried to give the game away. Like I said, I was at Tom's Watch Bar, and I got to show respect. There kind of felt like there were more Raider fans there than Niner fans. There was a whole group, a big old table with a bunch of Raider fans, and they were every time there was clapping happening as I was, hanging out at the tent with the crew, every time there was clapping happening, I thought it was the Niners, not that they had too much to clap about, but it was Raider fans. It was Raider fans. So shout out to the Raider fans out here in Sacramento. But as a fan, you must have been a little bit conflicted as the Raiders win the game. And as Thanos once asked, at what cost, or what did it cost you? Well, it cost them draft order, okay? And it cost them being in the 2nd position. Now, look, the season, there's still more games to go, but now the Giants in sole possession of that number 1 spot in the draft to take whoever they want at 2-13, and the Raiders are in a 5-way tie at 3-12. And right now, based on the tiebreakers, the Raiders have dropped to the 6th spot in the draft. And this is what they do. This is what the Raiders do. Raiders gonna Raider.
You've been on this for a while. The tank for Shedeur Sanders, just throw the season away kind of thing. You've been on this for months now. You made me play his terrible song on the air.
Well, you don't got to play it again because they're not going to get him. Here we go. The Giants at number 1, Patriots at number 2. I think they really like Drake May. I think Drake May's been playing pretty well. Jacksonville Jaguars at number 3. I don't know if they can't. They can't.
The Jaguars? No,
yes,
no,
they cannot.
No. But
Cleveland Browns, they might.
I don't want to touch that one.
Yeah, they might. Tennessee Titans, I think they will. I think we've seen enough of Mayo, man.
Well, they might not. They will move on from Will Levis, but they might not draft a quarterback. They're in that weird position where it's like, we already tried to draft a quarterback. Let's see if we,
But they never had a top pick, though.
True, but this was the guy that this regime drafted, right? Ran Carthon, who used to be with the 49ers, took Will Levis, hitched his wagon to Will Levis. Maybe they let him draft a second quarterback, but I think this is probably one of those where it's like, to defend my job, I have to pay Sam Darnold $100 million.
Yeah, they land at number 6, the Raiders, at 3-12, just like the rest of them, but with tiebreakers, things like that. And if you're the Raiders, you're either going to reach, if Shedeur and Cam Ward are gone, do you reach for somebody? What do you do? So after the game, Antonio Pierce, we got a couple sounders before we get you out of here. This is Antonio Pierce. The first one is Antonio Pierce when he is asked about Raider Nation being upset that they won. Here it is.
Coach, for the part of Raider Nation that is focused on the first overall draft pick conversation, what is your response to them?
Talk to Tom Telesco. Tom Telesco, the GM of the Las Vegas Raiders. And, I mean, what is he supposed to say, right? What is he supposed to say? You're there to win games. He's still coaching for his job. It's probably over, but what else is he supposed to say?
Is it over at this point?
With Antonio Pierce?
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those situations where he wasn't given a great situation.
No, but I haven't heard many people definitively say it's over for him.
His name is always brought up when it's who's the next coach that's going to go.
Yeah, but I haven't heard any like Rappaports or Schefters or people saying like the Raiders are thinking of moving on from a coach. And here it's all just, who are they going to take at quarterback?
And this is what's interesting. A coach would always take this opportunity, right? But knowing what it can do to your reputation. So if you get fired from a job and everybody kind of knows that you weren't given a great situation, but you still got fired from the job and it's a reflection on you, do you think there are some coaches that wish that they didn't take certain situations? So if Antonio Pierce, he's the interim head coach, they go ahead and hire him because they want to make up for the Rich Bisaccia thing. So they go ahead and do that. Do you think hindsight, he's thinking, man, I shouldn't have taken this job because it was a bad situation. It was a losing situation. We lost. I'm the scapegoat, and now I'm on the chopping block? Or do you think it doesn't matter what your situation is? Look at Jeff Saturday, right? It doesn't matter what your situation is. If you have the opportunity, if somebody's offering you an NFL head coaching job, you take it and you try to figure it out after.
I guess it's that. And Antonio Pierce went from being a linebackers coach to a head coach in like 2 years.
Right.
But it's always tough when you hire the internal replacement guy because you don't necessarily have an idea of whether or not they're going to be able to fill in the voids once the players who vouched for him aren't there anymore, right? Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame had the same issue, and now Notre Dame's back in the playoff and winning this weekend, all that stuff. So I don't know. It's a tough situation because they didn't give him a quarterback. They didn't put him in a position to succeed, but also the Raiders are finally acknowledging they're rebuilding now, which is the first time in, I guess, since the 2021 season that they're finally acknowledging that.
Yeah. I can even bring this back to the tech world, because we had a CEO that I believe she was only, I don't even know if she was there for a year. And it was pretty clear that she was, not at the time, but it was pretty clear that she was a bridge to what the company was trying to do. And I've always felt like they cashed her out. She signed an NDA and they said, hey, we're going to say everything is your fault, but here's a ton of money and you can go on to do great things. But you can't talk about what happened. You can't say this. You can't say that. You were our bridge CEO to get us where we need to go. And thank you for your service, but you can't say anything about this. Here's a bunch of money, and we're going to blame everything on you. That's what I think it happens probably pretty often, but will happen with Antonio Pierce.
It definitely has happened in the NFL. Do you remember David Culley?
Yes.
The coach of the Texans, who, when the Texans had no draft picks, no cap space, and like the third worst record in the NFL, and that was the pick that ended up getting traded for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
They gave David Culley, who was the wide receivers coach for the Baltimore Ravens, who I think the year before he got hired was the 32nd ranked receiving room in the NFL. That man was 64 years old. He took a 1-year retirement parachute with the Texans and got $22 million at the end of it. Like, it happens to the worst of the worst jobs that no one wants to take. Maybe the Raiders are that. I don't think they're as bad as the Texans were 4 years ago, but they're pretty close.
Let's hear from, before we get out of here, let's hear from, we don't have to play the whole thing, but let's just hear what they had to say after the game.
Man, we need to get a Raiders chant, man. Give us that Raiders, man. Raiders!
It's not hidden for me.
They were hyped.
You won a game. He goes on to say how hard it is to win a game in this league. Trust me, Antonio, we know. We watch. We know how hard it is for y'all to win a game.
Raiders fans know it's been 25 years how hard it is to win games.
We know. So now they're in 6, and it's we'll see what happens. Season's not over. Got to get back to losing, though. All right, somebody else will mess up. Thank you for listening to the Allen Stiles Show. Thank you to all the callers, texters, Sack chatters. Thank you to Kyle, doing a great job as always. Thank you to Evan Cidery. Be sure to follow him on social media covering the NBA for Forbes. We have no Drive Guys coming up after this. They are already on vacation. I will be back on Thursday to get you ready for Kings Pistons. I know it's the holidays, but who knows what things are going to look like on Thursday. Thank you for listening once again. Until Thursday, have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and anything else that I may have forgotten. Enjoy your time